Yes. Hello, everybody. I am Carly Davenport. I go by Fell in Love with Carly. And this is another segment of Let Me Be Real with You relationship panel. This is my first men and women, the ladies and the gents have come together to just talk about it. We're going to talk about what we've been talking about and whatever else come out. Get your
Let it be.
notebook, your pen, your paper, crayon. I don't care what you got, marker. Be ready for some gems to be dropped and to gather those things. So I'm excited. Let's introduce our panel today. We got Miss Lima up here. We
Hey.
have Mr. International Pop Star Superstar, the Sun. Come on, you gotta wait
Hi.
for us. We got
Hi.
Mr. Kame Lead out here. Father and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Thursday's Angel.
Hey y'all, y'all
Miss
catching me in traffic, but
Rita.
hey,
In the building. Thank you all for joining me back live in the building. I'm going to tell you like this. I have been getting a lot of great feedback regarding our panel discussions. Everybody has something to say.
Thanks.
And it's all good when we are covering some topics that people don't usually talk about. So listen, let's start here. Did anybody watch anybody else's show, from the men to the women? Anybody watch any other show?
Yeah, I watched the ladies show.
I watched the men show.
Yes,
yeah, I
I
saw little
did.
clips of it. Yeah,
So
A little bit, but I didn't watch it all. But I did watch some of the meal.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So did you guys have any questions for the opposite panel when you guys watched? Comments, questions, even if it was a Shay, I don't care. We all grown.
I don't.
I don't either.
I thought the panels was quite the same in the sense that it wasn't just one stance taken. And I liked how the females took multiple sides and they looked at it from different angles and talked about it from different angles. And I appreciated that because it's, when questions arrive, they answered them. Boom. They had the same questions. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. Anybody else had any feedback from it? Not yet. It's okay. We don't.
Not
Y'all
yet.
know I'm gonna get to it. Y'all know I'm about to get to it. So I did. I was excited when I had got a call from Kame, and he actually said to me, it was very unbiased. There was no male bashing when
Yeah,
they heard the women. And even with the women, I heard people saying the women, there was no bashing. There was no bashing from the men or from the women. And so it blessed me to let them see us melanated people be able to have a discussion that was fruitful for everybody.
For real.
And civilized.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You
It was
understand me?
Yeah.
harmonious. It was
Yeah.
the
Civilized.
harmony in it, and I think that's the thing that
Mm-hmm.
you know, with the sex wars that are going on in this day and time, it's not about trying to have a unified mindset, right? Because we are different individuals. You a man and I'm a woman, but how can we find a cohesiveness and a harmony in our existence? Because we need each other.
Right.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You better say that.
I think it all goes back to the communication thing. We talked about that a lot last week. But everything boils down to respect and communication. And that's it.
Yeah.
Really?
I love it. I love
Yes,
it.
I agree with you
Mm-hmm.
because I can say that for the whole conclusion that we had on the main panel, I think the final decision was like respect and the love. That's what we agreed on. So I think the women also got the same conclusion at the end of the show. So I think we all have the same view and the same answer
Right.
after the whole discussion. Yeah.
Right.
You know what? I think real quick that women take communication as like paramount, and I respect that because communication, it keeps things from being watered down and misconstrued. But I think for men, we take communication as being paramount too. But above that is respect. It's not about what you say; it's how you say it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Delivery.
Your
Delivery.
projection is
Mm-hmm.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
Mm-hmm.
call somebody a motherfucker in different ways, right?
Show enough.
Right.
You motherfucker. You know what I mean? So it's
Right.
all about how you projecting what you say. Because I mean, but if we gonna listen, since we talking about the last podcast, can't nobody call Carly a big head in no type of way.
Right.
No,
Right.
that is not a term of endearment, which you all do.
All right.
Don't call her a big head.
Right.
Look, we gonna leave that big head there on the floor.
On the
I mean,
floor, we gonna go
okay,
there.
from a man's perspective, I'm glad you brought it up. Okay, if you are dating a young lady and you just met her, would you text a lady, "What's up, big head"? Is that something that's acceptable?
I mean, I think to each his own. You know what I'm saying? It's a matter.
You ain't about to do that. No, I need your real answer. Is that acceptable behavior? Have you ever texted a chick that you were really interested in? Or no, don't even answer that question.
No, let me
Have you
answer the
ever
question.
texted a
Let me
chick
answer the question. Let me answer the question because I do believe it's different strokes for different folks. I truly believe that. You know what I mean? And I think that to find comfort, individuals try to use humor or icebreakers or little things to just kind of like break the ice. And if that works for that individual, then I can't knock it. I won't do it.
And why won't you?
I mean, I mean, I don't even think calling somebody a big head is a good compliment. I mean,
Thank
like,
you.
yeah, like,
You know what? I don't remember what I said last week, but big head wouldn't bother me because I've called some people big head. I mean, it's certain things that I don't want to be called. Like, I don't agree with girlfriends calling each other bitch. Like, I don't like
Yeah.
that because where I'm
Right.
from, that's a fighting word.
Right.
So the first time I heard it, I was like, hold on. And then she was like, no, no, no. So I was like, yeah, don't, I don't like
right.
it. But I think it just depends on the person's sense of humor. Like, I think I got a good sense of humor. You call me big head, I'm gonna be like, what's up, big head? You know
I'm
what I'm
talking
saying?
about when you first meet a guy and
Now,
you
if he
just
don't know
start
me
dating,
like that,
and that's
if he
gonna
don't
be
know me like
okay.
that, okay, no.
I mean, me
Mm-mm.
personally, I'm gonna tell you something. I've never been called. I don't care what part of my relationship I was in. Ain't nobody ever
It don't
called
bother
me
me.
Big head.
But
no big
I
head.
think it depends on the
But
person.
I'll call a nigga. I mean, I'm
Right.
sorry, a ninja.
A dude, a ninja. Did you say it with the A though? Because when you say it with the A, that's our word. The ER is not. You said it with the A.
Right.
I
It's
call a
all good.
ninja.
The ninja.
I don't think men take offense to that nickname.
They don't. But
Because they
but
thinking
for a
big head.
woman,
Right.
Oh Lord,
That's how we
Lord, Lord.
Lord.
I'm
That's,
just
I
being
that's
just
exactly what we
ignorant.
thinking. We
I
we
mean,
thinking big
it
head.
could be a term of
Yeah.
endearment for that man. What's up, big
Right.
head?
Right.
depends on how
You
you
call
know
me
this
big
person.
head. We done talking.
Perception.
I don't even know you no more. Like, you could walk past me. We could have been on 10 dates and you call me. I'm gonna ask you, what size hat do you wear? Like, my brother, what size hat is that on your head? I mean, like,
Yeah.
no, I'm just
He said,
The trend was started like if you dealing with an ex or you dealing with an ex-boyfriend and you ain't heard from in a while and you be like, what's up, big head?
That's
that's
You know
just
what I
friend
funny to
mean?
zone. Is
get
that
that.
not friend
That's
zone?
to get the slide back in. Hey,
right.
big
Well, that's
head.
not.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
think the question was like if you first meet them, like it's a term that's used under a familiar contact with a person.
Right.
Right,
That's not something you use for somebody you just met
right.
Right.
because, like
I
you said,
agree.
you don't want that. But when I've been dealing with you for a while, I haven't heard from you for a while, and I'm trying to slide in your DM.
Big head, what you
What's
doing?
up, big head?
So
Like
is that more
real talk.
friendly?
That's usually how it's used. Usually, men don't come up to no girl be like, "What's up, big head?" Unless she said it to him first. But
No,
Right.
they
after
don't. That ain't
it's like
call
I
and respond.
remember, big
Carly
head.
don't like that. Carly don't like it. You ain't gonna convince her.
I'm gonna tell you why.
No.
I'm gonna tell you why. Let me explain to you, like, while I'm making like my stake in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily for people that are mature like us. I'm talking about on premises of people like I went to Shaw. Muslima went to Shaw with me. We lost. Yeah, there we go. We went to school together. And the thing is, we lost a classmate recently, Amanda Williams, and her baby's father shot her 4 or 5 times. Not my baby's father,
Wow.
fiance shot
Fiance.
her 4 or 5 times
Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
killed her. You hear me? And so, truthfully, when we talk about relationships and red flags and stuff, I need people, no matter what age demographic, no matter what color, where they're from, to understand when you first meet somebody what is a red flag.
Mm-hmm.
Now, jokes all aside, when you first meet a guy and he call you that is him trying to see if he can test you out. There's
Mm-hmm.
no way a guy just met you and should be calling you anything besides a term of endearment.
Exactly.
Big
I
Mhm.
head
agree.
is like we used to roast people with your big head ass.
Right, right,
Right.
right. Also, that's
Right.
Mm.
yeah, yeah. From that
Right.
context, yeah,
I mean,
Mm.
I think it's generational too.
yeah.
It
You know, because
can be.
they don't even call it roasting no more. You know what I
We
mean?
don't.
So it's I think it's a matter of generational. That's
That's just like
I don't
bitch.
know what
Like
generation
back
you
in
gonna
the
be wanting
day.
to call a big head. Ask your grandmama, ask your daughter if she want to be called big head.
I mean,
Call
I agree.
Jasmine, call
I agree
Jasmine
with you.
Monet big head. Let a
No,
dude call her that.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I don't think that that's an endearing terminology.
It's not.
Yeah.
And if you wouldn't want your daughter called that, then it's something that shouldn't be called to a woman.
Mm-mm.
If people have to understand levels of respect. And people getting
Yeah.
too freaking friendly with somebody that they want to be married to.
Right.
Listen, dating is not for the faint of heart. If you're
True.
dating for marriage and you dating somebody that's gonna call you a big head when you just courting and you get married, when you get married, you only dating a representative. That's not the real person.
Right.
Once you say I do, you get to see everything. They show you that whole mask come off. I should have had a mask on. Then you get to see the whole that whole come out.
Right. Right.
You
But
hear
Right.
should it
me?
be that way though? That the question is, should I wait till I say I do to show who I really am
Usually
authentically?
it's
Right.
not the women that do
Absolutely
it.
not.
But I feel
Usually,
like
usually it's the men that do that. Women, we open, we just do everything.
if I
Usually,
want to
No, I
be
disagree
honest,
with you.
if I'm being
I
No,
said
honest,
I
usually,
I
disagree
not
with
you
you.
disagree
Hold on.
don't.
Hold
too.
on. Hold on. Let his son talk. I think he
Talk
got
to
a
it.
rebuttal.
Yeah,
Come on,
yes, I
Rashawn.
disagree with Carly because if she's, I mean, backing the lady, saying that they are really good and they are open when they are in relationship or they get married, they are open to everything, or maybe they always show the real them when they are in relationship. I disagree with that. I disagree with that because most of the ladies now, what they do, and even previously, what they do is they can hide some part of them, some secret of them until they get married. Even during the marriage, they will never show it like some years before they will pop out with that kind of real life. And you, the man, will be like, whoa, what this thing come from? But you know, she will be hiding it. So if you are here telling me, the men, that the ladies always show everything when they are in relationship or married, because some men are open, they can, I mean, show the real character of them when they're in a relationship or when they get married. And some men can also hide it. The same way implied to the women. They
Right.
can also hide it for some time before showing it when they get married. So it's vice versa. It's at both parts. So you can say you, the ladies, you easily got that one. No, I disagree with you.
What
I
are some
agree.
of the things? What are some of the things that women hide?
mm, that's a good question.
So in dating and men do it too. I'm not gonna sit up here in front like men don't do it too, but
Mhm.
men and women both do it. I'm speaking on a humanistic plane. Like you're not gonna go to a date in your pajamas. You're not. You're gonna put some makeup on. You're gonna do your hair. You're gonna shave your face. You're gonna present yourself to be the best. You're gonna be a presentable.
Right.
And while you're dating, once you get to know somebody and you continue to present yourself, we do get a little lackadaisy. We like, are we comfortable?
Hmm.
He likes me already. He texts me a lot. Now you coming out not as presentable as you once did. Men too, you know what I mean? Things get a little comfortable, and that's when you start to really gauge and get to understand an individual. It's levels to dating. You know what I'm saying? Infatuation is what's going to pull you in. I'm
Right.
not going to talk to somebody I'm not attracted to. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
But we're
that's
not. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
you good.
I think I need. I think what I was asking were specific things that women hide, not so
Mhm.
much as when we go on a date. You have to present yourself presentable. That's normal. That's what normal, regular people do. Normal people do. What is it that women hide? You said women. The son said women hide things. Now, ask me what men hide, and I can give you a whole list. But what is it specifically that women hide? You said women hide stuff. What is it that we hide?
The son, you got
Yeah,
that?
thank you. Sometimes,
Is it okay if I speak to that, even though I'm a woman?
No.
Please,
Wait,
we
wait,
need
wait.
help.
I want to hear what the son got to say because he sat back.
Okay.
Give him a minute, then you can, Ali.
Okay.
you see, what the women really hide is sometimes um, being mean, being mean. Sometimes they
Being
can
mean.
hide this from, yeah, being mean.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Sometimes they don't because the relationship is or they are in love. The love is so intense that
He's
they always do things to entice the man. The ladies always do things to entice the man. I'm talking from my side because our culture is different from the Western culture. Sometimes this is what they do. Like maybe the person is rude, but she'll never present the rudeness at the first place. Or because first impression always counts, as I said earlier on.
Right.
So the person will be hiding this because the person wants you, she doesn't want you to be hurt. She'll be hiding this from you until you get married. When you get married and you started having kids, this is where the person show her real life. So sometimes a lot of men do say, you weren't like this when I met you. We had been in relationship, you never exhibited this. But why now are you exhibiting this? You have changed. It's not like the person has changed. The person hasn't changed. That real lifestyle is in the person. But he never demonstrated it in any platform or anything that you have seen. So as long as he has gotten the seat to be your wife, or that's where she will come boldly to exhibit the real life of her to you. So this
Okay.
is it.
So, son, the son,
Mm-hmm.
you know
Mm-hmm.
you didn't answer the question, right?
I didn't answer
I,
the
No, he
I
answered
feel
it.
like
He
he
answered it.
did.
Little
He
bit.
said being
Did he?
mean. Yeah, he
He
said
said
a
he
woman
said
don't
being
hide
mean.
their
Y'all hide
mean.
that. Y'all hide
Yeah,
being
and
mean.
I
We
agree.
had being mean.
I
Yeah.
agree because and I'm so happy that you said that first
Rita,
because
leave me alone. I'm like, wait a minute, did he say that? I
yeah,
didn't hear
being
that.
mean. I agree. And I
Okay.
don't feel like we
Maybe he was
hide it,
talking
but
to
I feel
me.
like yeah, I don't feel like we hide it, but I feel like our tolerance, like when we're dating, we're courting, and y'all doing everything to get us.
Uh-huh.
There's no need for us to show our frustration and our anger. But when we're married, I think the problem is that a lot of women have certain expectations. So before I got married, I just knew that it was certain things were going to change after I got married.
Right.
And one thing, Kame was involved in it. One thing he asked me before I got married was, if he never changes, would you still marry him?
Right.
And I had to ask myself that question. I was like, well, yeah. In my mind, I'm like, yeah, if he never changed, I'll marry him. But that was a lie because once we got married, my expectations for the things that I wanted him to do as my husband became higher. In his mind, he was thinking like, I married her. I already courted her. So let's go on about our daily lives. I was expecting for more of a Prince Charming. So
So
Right.
that
that's where your
probably entailed brought
communication
on the
comes in.
meanness because I got an attitude because this is not what I signed up for. I'm thinking I'm about to get Prince Charming every night, and he like, baby, I'm Al Bundy,
Right.
So how did you
literally.
communicate
But
that with
that's a whole
him?
nother story.
How did you communicate that with him? Did you communicate that with him before you got married? Because that's something that has to be discussed before you get married. Because
Absolutely.
anything that bothers you before the marriage is going to tear your nerves up real bad after you get married. And
Right.
I
Mm-hmm.
think that's because a lot of people fall in love with the idea of being married and
Mm.
not knowing what it takes to be married. Or like they was
mm.
telling me to plan for your marriage, not your wedding. Your wedding is one day, your marriage is forever.
Absolutely. And I
Mhm.
think that was what really was. I at my young age, I was in my early 20s. I
Oh,
planned for the marriage. I had no idea what it took to be married. You know what I mean? And even the conversations we had, I was coming from a standpoint of you need to hear me. You need to hear my stance. This is what I expect as a wife, and you're not giving it to me. So whatever he was telling me, I wasn't even listening to it because I got married from a very selfish, from a very egotistical standpoint. You know what I
exactly.
mean? My friends and family were all getting married. It was the thing to do. I treated it like it was prom, like
Mhm.
it was a college graduation. It was
Mhm.
just the next hurdle in life. I didn't understand I
Mhm.
was really molding myself as a business. You
Right.
understand?
Right.
Right.
Now I understand that when you take that man's last name, that's a business partnership.
That's right.
That's why all
Mhm.
companies have last name behind it. So at that time, no. I was not prepared. I was not aware. And guess what happened? I got mean.
Yeah. But that's not hiding. That's not hiding meanness.
That's true.
I think he meant like you mean all the time. You mean to the waitress. You mean to your kids, your mama,
Oh,
everybody.
Yeah,
do
that's
you
what
mean
he's
that,
talking about.
That's
son?
You
what
just
he meant.
mean.
You were mean because you were unhappy. Now that's a
Yeah.
total different type of mean that comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And
But
I
I
think
think
that's what I was getting at with that. Like
yeah,
when you say when people hide things, I'm talking about
kids,
well,
wives.
no, no,
We going to let's talk about it.
Well, there's
They
women that does
do.
it too. Women do it too.
Yeah,
You know what I
they
mean?
I
do.
wasn't
I was
talking
gonna
about
say
that, but
that. They do.
dang, she took you all the way there.
But I'm gonna tell
Kids,
you something. I'm gonna tell
wives.
you when you dating somebody, a friend of mine, he was telling me because I do have the tendency when I like someone, I'm all in. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
they get all of me. You know what I mean? I give them 100% clearance. I mean, yeah, so they can ask me anything. I'll tell them I'm an open book. Once I like you, I'm in. And then my one friend was telling me he's in IT. He said when you get a job in IT, they don't give you full clearance of the whole building.
Wow.
You get first level clearance, and then you got to earn second level, and you got to earn third level, and you got to earn fourth level, and that's how it should be. When you getting to know someone, they have to earn your clearance,
The
and
next
you
Mm-hmm.
just
level.
can't
That's
give
right.
them all of you at one
I
time. And it
like
just took
that.
me a long time to understand that, you know. But uh, um, if you are giving them a piece of you bit by bit, you can be genuine with what you give, so you don't have to wear a mask.
Mhm.
Right.
That's how you
Yeah.
alleviate wearing a mask, and then once you saying I do, you get bamboozled. But
Yeah.
Mhm.
if you're dealing with somebody who has a preconceived notion of what a relationship is, because like I was saying, we are all like snowflakes. We're
Mhm.
all different. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Two snowflakes together is not going to be the same two snowflakes that's two other people. Okay, if you're trying to duplicate somebody else's relationship, you're setting yourself up for doom anyway.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Mhm. And
Mhm.
we talked about that last week as well
Mm-hmm.
about being yourself and being comfortable with who you are.
Yes, we
So then
did.
when you meet somebody, you don't have to put on that mask because you're
Right,
comfortable with who you are. And
right.
once you get to a level of confidence and being comfortable with who you are, nobody can come in and change you.
Yep.
Nobody, you can compromise on some things. You may sacrifice some things, but nobody's going to be able to come in and change who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to wear that mask. And I think social media has made it like overwhelmingly like everybody has to put on a facade. And you don't
Well,
have to do
Yeah.
no,
that.
I don't think that social media made it that way. Social media showed you how fake people really are. Like
Right.
they showing
People
you this
being
is their
fake.
real, like
Right.
this is their real fake life. Like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
really believe this fake life. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like for real. Like people are running around delusional, and you
Hmm.
have younger people that are being raised thinking that this is what it's supposed to be about. Like
And
when it
it's
comes
not.
to relationships. Well, look at Chris Rock and Blueface. These people are beating the hell out of each other, having kids and doing all kind of craziness, right? He knocking out teeth, buying her a new one, and not letting her put it in her mouth.
Who look,
You're
don't
gonna
worry
have
about
to
it.
Google it. You're gonna
Oh,
have to Google it. But what I'm telling you, look at it. But I'm just listen. I have little people. They keep me
No,
abreast of these things.
no,
So what
mine
I'm
do.
telling you that this is
I'm on the
what's
floor.
training our children because our children are watching these people on social media and they believe to have a relationship means
Okay.
to fight, to argue,
Toxic.
to it's
Yes.
toxic. And so it's who's going to show them something different? Like how are
You
they going to know a difference? That
Hmm.
name calling and putting your hands on a person, jumping in their face, it's not right.
Well, I think that's up to the
Yeah.
parents to teach. I think we can't rely on social
Some
media
of
to
the
really
parents are
mold.
worse than the kids. Where you think they
Well,
get it from? Or
there
they're
are
not
some,
there?
but there are a lot. Like I feel like social media is an algorithm. So whatever frequency you are on, that's what you're going to get. You know what I mean? So I calibrated my social media that I'm only getting positive images. I'm only getting
Right.
healthy relationships. I see people black. I see melanated love. I see, and if I do see that, I'm gonna ignore and I'm a block.
Mhm.
I don't want any of that toxic frequency because there are other examples of people having healthy relationships on social media. So it's like, and if you training your young man and your young woman to be, goddesses and gods of who they understand who they are. And like you said, respect. It's a no brainer. You teach somebody this respect all human beings, whether it's a man or a woman, because
Black
respect
or
come and
white.
then come to love. There's
Hmm.
no toxic because I don't have to disrespect you with my words or want to hit you if I respect myself first,
Right.
right? Because I'm a treat. If once I love and respect myself, I'm gonna resonate that love to anybody I deal with, whether I'm in a relationship or not.
Uh oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
The sign's back. Thursday's gone. Okay.
She'll come back. She'll come back.
Yeah,
She'll be
she's
back.
traveling.
But
Traveling.
to piggyback on what Thursday was saying, as far as like respect and respecting yourself, it's the influence of social media in the external world does play a significant role on how we perceive things. That's just true. Doesn't matter how much, like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink it. You know what I mean? You can
Absolutely.
tell an individual how much. The more you tell a child their worth, the more they hear it though. But I truly believe that worth comes from a man. I think I expect, like I have daughters, and I spend a lot of time on talking about their worth.
Right.
Because I think that calibrates what they will receive or what they will reject. Is
That's
Mm-hmm.
is understanding what they're worth. Now,
that's right.
worth in our world, in a capitalistic world, has a dollar tag. But when I talk about worth to my daughters, it has no value. It's
That's right.
priceless. Like who you are is priceless, and an individual who understands and respects that will
My
gather a
bad,
lot
guys.
more than just just monetary value. They will gain a life partner. That's what it's about. It's about a life partner and understanding that you all are working together, and it's understanding that relationships aren't selfish generated. Like you just can't go into a
Right.
relationship like, oh, look at them, they looking good, they doing their pajama pants, I want to do
Yep.
that. Oh, he getting flowers,
Yeah, that's what they
I
say.
want to
Yeah.
get flowers too. You
That's
got
what
that
they see
selfish
on social
mentality.
media.
You
Hmm.
already wrong track.
Hmm.
Right.
Exactly.
You got
Absolutely.
a relationship requires for an individual to be selfless, and you got to look like,
Right.
what can I do and position myself to help this individual be the best version of them they could possibly be. And you see
Hmm.
the best version of them, and when they're off, you encourage, you inspire the best way you can, and vice versa. They need it in return. I can't constantly give you energy and you taking my energy and then you don't give it back. That's
Right.
Exactly.
that makes the
Exactly.
balance off.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was just gonna
I
say
was
that
watching.
balance
Well,
is key.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you because some individuals do look at people's relationship and always want to emulate
Right.
those relationships.
Hmm.
Sometimes, and say, you might be in a relationship, somebody might be in a relationship with a lady, and the lady will come to you, don't you see maybe Francis' relationship? Don't you see how they move together? Haven't you see that Francis has bought a girlfriend some new car? Why can't you also do the same thing to me?
Right.
These are some of the
Hmm.
things that are
Hmm.
deteriorating relationship because you always want your relationship to be like someone because you are comparing your
Uh-huh.
relationship to somebody else's relationship. Whilst
mm,
you are different individuals together. So is relationship to me I think relationship is like studying each other, knowing each other in your own way,
Right.
not to emulate somebody's role because
Exactly.
Right.
all figures are not equal. Some are
That's
shorter,
right.
some are longer. So
Right.
some
Hmm.
people might be rich, some people might be poor, some people might be average. So any type of relationship at all that you find yourself in, please adjust yourself to suit the situation on the ground. Don't take it above your level. Just level it at the situation in which you find yourself. But don't be comparing yourself to somebody. Otherwise, your relationship will deteriorate. These are some of the breakups that this are what comes out from some of the breakups that we normally see around. So may I think setting each other, building your relationship in your own best way is the great
Mhm.
achievement. Now you want
Right.
to emulate somebody's relationship. Yeah.
And you don't know what they
Well,
had to
for
do to get that relationship. You don't know what they had to do to get that car, to maintain that car, to maintain that house, get that house. You shouldn't be envious of other people.
You better say
and
that.
I just feel like when it comes to relationships, in my opinion, it starts with foundation, the foundational work. You know, you gotta lay the grounds in your relationship with your foundation first. Foundation is everything. If you're not standing on a sturdy foundation, any level you start growing to is going to crumble.
Crumble.
When you getting to know each other, you're automatically like, well, just for instance, what's your likes, what's your dislikes, you know, what your dreams look like, to see are y'all going to even be in alignment with one another, going to a level of possibly marriage. So you could get a lot out the way starting from ground level, which is foundational. Just my opinion. When
That's
you
the
start
best
at the
part.
foundation, don't look when you start dating. In my opinion, don't look for the big things so quickly. Start with the small things, foundational, and you will see those little red flags. You will see them because you know what you want. You know what you bring to the table.
So
You know
how do you
what
build that foundation? Like,
communication.
Honesty,
Yeah.
communication,
Mhm.
respect.
so
Mhm.
what are these bricks that if we look at foundation and we say it's the bricks right at the base that holds the relationship together? What are those pillars? Like, what are those elements that you feel is more important to communicate about opposed to the frivolous things like, girl, we like to get your hair done at, or girl, you know, like little things like, I mean,
We
it's some
talked
things
about
that's
that.
more important than others. You see what I'm saying? I want
What's
to talk
your
Yeah.
about.
relationship with your mama?
Okay, so for
Yeah,
women,
with your mama. As far as
Talk
I
about
need
that.
to know, to be
Yeah.
honest, credit scores, things of that sort. What we doing with our careers? What do our life look like in five
Hmm.
years? Like we have those conversations. I want to know
It's
because
pretty
that
much a job
matters.
interview. Yeah, it's a job
okay,
interview.
okay, let's talk about the relationship that you have with your mom because you made a good point. That's important to females, right? So how would you gauge that based on you asking me and I'm telling you, oh, I love my mom. She's the apple of my eye.
For me, right now, I hear that, and I'm not going to ask you anything else. I'm going to see how you talk about your mother in the future. I'm going to see how you interact with your mother. My mama called me 5 times a day. So if I'm talking to my mother, and I mean 2, 3 hours at a time, we talking. So if I tell you my relationship is great with my mom, and you see me talking to my mother, you see me interacting with my mother, dealing with my mother, traveling to see my mother, you're gonna say, okay, she got a good relationship with her mom. But if you tell me your relationship is great with your mom, and I don't never see you talking to your mom, that's a red flag.
I
That's
mean,
a
but
red flag.
how can you use that as a red flag? And it's, how do you know when I'm talking to my mom? For one, how can you determine that me talking to my mom 5 times a day requires us to have a good relationship? Maybe me talking to my mom once a week is all I need to have a good relationship with my mom.
And that's fine. But I need to see you talking to your mother, and I need to see how you talk to your mother,
I mean, no,
because
I
that's
don't disagree with you.
important.
I don't disagree with you. That's what I wanted you to say
And
because
it depends on
you just can't hear somebody's words and just take it for truth value. You got to see
exactly,
it. You got to witness it. And it's not just your
exactly,
relationship that you have with your mom. It's a relationship that you have
exactly.
with your friends because we are
Yes.
different amongst our friends than we are amongst our family,
Mm,
amongst
Yes.
the ones that we date. And you want to be around all of that
Hmm.
if you
I
can.
think
I
that
that's
you
completely
got
because
agree.
when
And
you're
sometimes,
dating
that's because
somebody,
yeah,
when you're in the process of dating somebody, each relationship is not going to be the same.
Right.
So with one person desire, the other person may not desire. I like to tell people when they start dating a new guy or girl, the person that you just met knows is the person before you. They
Hmm.
don't know anything about you. So now you have to introduce them to you to let them know what makes you tick. So
Hmm.
if they do something that you don't like, it's a conversation. If they don't do something, it's a conversation. Oh babe, but I like this. Some men are just attentive like that.
Hmm.
You know, some women are attentive like that. If you want an attentive person, then maybe you should find somebody that's attentive.
Right.
No, get somebody that's not attentive. Now you mad because he not attentive. That's when the women get home, they get married. Now they mad because they not
Now
attentive.
they
Because you
mean.
wanted somebody that was attentive, and you married
Exactly.
somebody that's not attentive. So
Exactly.
that's where the disconnect, I believe, comes from. And like when you talk about the relationships, Muslima, like with the parent and the particular person, I mean, like, look, I'm like,
when I
hold on,
and
wait
I
a minute, hold on,
you
wait, I gotta
forgot
check.
really
Hold on, wait, I gotta get this out. Hold on,
okay.
wait, give me a moment. Hold on.
Ooh, not the wine.
Oh,
Baby, this
bless.
about to be good.
Let me tell you something.
All the woman got wine.
I got
Look,
Pepsi.
look. I already
That's
had
that's
my
it.
Definitely
Pepsi.
searching for
I
her.
got
Look,
sparkling juice.
listen. And this is just me personally. This is just Carly. I'm not giving this to nobody but me.
I got
And
water.
people that
What
can
about
maybe
Camille?
listen, people that can maybe relate. People that can't don't. But I was married before. Like I said, I look forward to getting married again for the first time.
Mm,
And when I decided to get married again for the first time, I don't know if that's my deciding factor about how your relationship is with your mother.
mm-hmm.
I care more about your relationship with me.
Exactly.
If for some reason that you and your mom are not talking, but you treat me like a goddess, I'm in love with you, babe. Like,
I agree.
I'm just being honest.
Bless.
If for some reason that there's
Mm-hmm.
a disconnect in the family, because I learned my lesson, and God ain't got to teach me no more,
Right.
then I'm gonna
Yeah.
leave that
Right.
disconnect where it's at, and I'm gonna go with my babe, and I'm gonna take my
Yeah.
road because in the Bible it says you leave your husband, you leave and you cleave anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, how are you treating me? How do you respect me? How do you love me? How do you honor me? You leaving and you cleaving, so why does it really matter? It's
Yeah,
like
right.
people
Well,
go
Yeah.
there.
just for
Thank
instance,
you,
I
Cleveland Browns
mean,
and Crabs, Ohio. I don't even know who you
I
are,
agree.
but thank you. All right. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I
I
agree with
mean,
you
you
because
can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I can
yeah,
hear
we
you.
can hear you.
So, so for instance, yeah, we saying mother, but it could be problems with the mother, but we're gonna say women in general. We're gonna say
Mm-hmm.
grandmother. We're gonna say aunties, sisters. How do you treat women?
Mm-hmm.
Because it does matter,
I
It
because
does.
care.
it will trickle down to you
No, it
eventually,
don't.
good
Let
sis.
me tell you something. If you
Yes,
got a
it
bad
will, Carly.
relationship, let me
Mhm.
tell you something.
Mhm.
Yeah,
If you got a bad relationship with somebody, I'm not saying everybody.
Right.
I'm not saying everybody. If you going around and you just bashing chicks in the head, we can't have a conversation. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? We can't have a, it's a difference. There's definitely a different, there's a difference, it's a balance to this thing here. But the Bible says we're talking about mother-in-laws, okay? Or however you want to, whatever you call your mother-in-law. Bible do say you leave and you cleave. So that if you're talking about scriptural, then you leaving and you cleaving. It don't matter what kind of relationship he got with that person. It
Yes, it
matters what
does.
relationship he got with you.
No,
hmm
it
To
no.
to a certain
I have to
extent.
disagree with that, Carly,
I
yeah,
don't care.
because
Let me tell
there's
you something. Let me tell you something. You treat me good, and we good. If you ain't talking to your mama,
no.
then we ain't
You
talking
no,
to
killed
your
your
it's
mama.
mama.
I don't care.
Carly is
it's
tripping. Carly
No,
tripping.
Carly's tripping.
And
Carly, Carly
this
it's,
cold
tripping.
water. Why am I about to go in the glass?
yeah,
What we doing? We what?
Let me tell you why it's
We
important.
not
Where,
talking.
where,
We not
where?
talking.
Listen.
I don't even need to know what she did. I don't even care. Don't tell me because
You
I don't even
do.
care. Big
Yes,
Daddy,
you
we about
do.
to. We
You
about
sh-
to. What we about to do
I
I,
can
next,
tell you why
Daddy?
you should care.
it's,
No, I don't. Because as long as it's peace in
yes,
my house and Mama ain't there,
But if he has mommy
yeah,
issues,
you see,
your
Yeah.
household is not going to be peaceful. You do need to know how his
I don't care
relationship
about
is
that.
with his mother. Because if he has
some,
mommy issues, I'm telling you
sometimes,
now,
I don't care.
sometimes, but
I'm just saying
majority
that's
of the
me.
time,
So listen, you have a great relationship with your mother-in-law, Muslima.
Ooh,
no. I mean, we don't. We
Hold up.
he lives in North Carolina. I live in Cleveland. So we don't have a
Yeah.
relationship because we're so
I
far
ain't even
apart.
had up to drink yet. That was water. I'm pouring my wine right now. I'm sorry, but that was funny. That whole come on,
But
girl.
no, but honestly,
Actually,
no, we
I'm
don't.
glad you.
And we don't because of the distance. However, these mommy issue things, that is important because men tend to treat the women that they're with the same respect that they treat their mother. So if he doesn't have respect for his mama, he's not gonna have respect for you.
You know what?
And his
No, I
mommy
disagree with you.
issues could cause
Thank
him
you,
to
the
have
son.
anger issues. His mommy
Mm-hmm.
issues could have cause him to have sexual addiction issues. There's a whole
Mm.
lot of
There's a
things that
lot.
play a part in this man's relationship with his mother. And as a woman, you do need to know that because
Yeah.
that could protect you.
But I
Now
Because
you
if he
talking
has
understand.
about
anger
From
different
issues,
things.
my own perspective, yeah, from my own perspective, I think that I disagree with you because I know a certain guy who doesn't have a good relationship with their mother because of I just don't want to talk about the reason why he wasn't in talking terms with the mother because the mother treated him very bad when he was growing up.
mhm,
But when he got married or when they were in relationship with the lady, he treated the lady very well. They got married and they are very happy and they are even still they are married. That you will never hear any quarrel or fighting or any problem about them. And the guy always treat the lady very good.
mhm,
So it doesn't matter if the person is not treating the mother good or is not in good talking condition with the mother.
Thank you.
Any man can treat a lady well as far as the love is there.
That's good.
It
Thanks.
doesn't matter if he does treat the mother very well or leave mother out from this picture because this is between the lady and the guy. This is a
mhm.
relationship. They're about to start their new life. So if I don't treat, for instance, I don't treat my mother very well, I'm not in talking terms with her, I don't give her money, or I don't care about her, it doesn't mean that I still have that feel for the lady that I'm going to meet. No way.
Okay. Some men heal from their
Yes.
mommy issues
Right.
and some men don't. The
But
ones
see,
that
you
don't,
assuming when you start talking about sexual issues and like all the other stuff, that's another story, Muslima. Like when
that's
you're
still
talking
part of
about,
dating.
yeah, but that's another story. We're talking about the relationship a man has with his mother. I'm gonna tell you, this wise woman said to me, and I was a kid when I heard this woman say this to me. And when I got married, I thought about it, right? They were married to a person, and the husband did not really talk to the mother,
Mhm,
Hmm.
and so the husband, she interfered, and she started making the husband interfere with his mother. Once she rekindled that relationship, that mother turned on the wife, started bringing women over and everything, destroyed the whole marriage. And what the woman said was, when I seen that he was not talking to her, I
I
should have
should have
just
let it be.
left it alone. And I
Absolutely.
sat up here and I woke that sleeping dragon. So you don't know what's going on in that relationship, that he could be trying to protect you, leaving her alone,
Mm-hmm.
and you so busy trying to rekindle something instead of worrying about yourself. That's when it's time to be selfish. It's
mhm.
you married to this man. She done had her turn, whether she got married two, three times around. It's your turn. This is
But
your husband.
that's
Can I
communication.
say something
He
real
should
quick?
have communicated
So,
that with his
Muslima,
wife. This
Let me
how
say
my
something real
mama
quick.
is.
so,
When it
No,
comes when it,
he don't got to. Hold
Hold
on,
on,
you guys. Hold on. He
Kame
don't
want to
got to
say
tell you
something.
that. He don't got to tell
Kame
you
got
that.
something to
He a
say.
provider. He's a protector. That man don't got to tell you everything. All
But
men are not gonna tell you everything. You gotta trust the person you with.
a
Just
part of your
let him.
protection is
Carly.
protecting you
Let him.
from his mama.
You and just go with the flow and let him.
if that's your focus, if your focus is his interaction with his mom, I can't take your focus off of that. But what I can say is that no woman is the same anyway, and no man is going to treat all women the same
I'm
way
leaving him
anyway.
alone.
Some women deserve. I mean, some women don't respond to but disrespect. Some women respond to to respect. Everybody responds to things differently. And if you were looking for an individual that's going to resonate with your energy being that I respect myself, I want to be respected, I want somebody to talk to me in a tone that I don't feel like they're attacking me, but they're trying to
Right.
really correct. So, because at the end of the day, it's all about communication. Communication
Absolutely.
is not going to always be harmonious. There's going to be
Exactly.
times when your heart is going to palpitate while you're
Mhm.
talking because
Mhm.
it's a trigger for you,
Mhm.
and you got to understand. We're looking at those components. We want to talk to an individual who can over understand that
Overstand.
individuals have triggers, and I too have triggers, and we talk about those things to try to get beyond that. How can
Exactly.
me and you communicate in a way that is going to be effective for you and for me? That's what's
Mhm.
most important.
I think we're talking about two separate components because I actually lived that, not to the extent of what Carly's talking about, but like when I first met my ex-husband, he was not talking to his mother. And I was raised on that premises of if you want to see how God would treat you, see how he treats his mother. So he
Right.
treated me with so much respect when I first met him. So I was like, why don't you have a relationship with your mother? He expressed to me the dysfunction that he experienced growing up. Again, I'm staying steadfast on the way I was raised. I'm like, no, go talk to your mother. Go give her a phone call. And long story short, she encouraged him to do what he did to actually help in our marriage. It wasn't a catalyst, but I mean, it wasn't what brought it to it. It was a lot of events that brought it to it. But I feel like if you could communicate with that guy, he tells you what's going on so you can know about it. But once he tells you it's dysfunctional and that's why he doesn't want to function with his mother, you have to respect that and then look at how he's treating you. So I
Exactly.
feel like the conversation still needs to be had. I
Hmm.
still want to observe. But if I understand it, you know what? Because he never disrespected his mother. Even though she abused him, that same respect, he continuously gave me that respect. But there was some dysfunctional in our relationship because he didn't have a good relationship with his mom. So when it came time to
Hmm.
communicating, because he had oppressed so much of what he was feeling with his mother, when it came time to communicate with me, it was a lot of
He didn't know
feelings that were
how.
suppressed, and I dealt with a lot of passive aggressiveness. No, he
Yes.
didn't disrespect me, but I dealt with a lot of things that, in the long run, because we couldn't communicate it, because he was when the authority came, as far as me being a woman, there were some disconnects. So regardless whether I met his mother or not, we should have been able to talk to, and I had to ask myself, am I emotionally prepared enough to deal with somebody with those damages in their
Yes.
relationship with their mother?
That's what
And
I
that's
mean,
something.
Carly.
So I understand it from both perspectives. I'm not
Hmm.
next time. I'm not bringing your mother in and say go talk to your mother. If you're saying you're having an issue, we can talk about it. Let's see how we going to heal. And how are you treating me and the people and woman around? And he treated the woman around him great. So
Yeah.
no, I don't need the mom involvement, but we can talk about it.
Right.
Look, I don't even care to talk about it. Just
I
let me know
cannot.
what we're doing.
No, 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 no. I agree. I agree. When it comes to relationship with the man and his mother, the same kind of concept with the woman and her mother, the
Hmm.
same kind of relationship with a woman and her father.
And her
I do
father.
want to. I do
Hmm.
want to understand those components,
Yeah.
but I don't want to understand the components in the sense of trying to help that relationship. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to 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 be a counselor for your mother and mother relationship and your mother and your father.
Hmm. Hmm.
No, but I do want to understand it.
Hmm.
I do want to understand that there's some elements of pain and hurt there that I don't want to bring to our relationship.
Exactly.
And that's what's important. Not
What?
not more so
But
how they interact with them, but more so that I understand why they interact the way they
why?
interact.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
And not all the time you're going to be a counselor, because I do want to say this. When I met my husband, I had wrote my dad completely off. He was the reason that our relationship bridged back together. And it was really for the betterment of me, because it allowed me to go back and do some healing where I was broken at.
Hmm.
Because I would have took all that mess in this marriage. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So I definitely, that was a good thing for him to help me bridge that gap with my dad, because I needed that. If not,
Hmm.
he would have got a really bad end of Rita, that mean woman, the mean woman.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. So
I
That's
mean,
what
I
I
all the
mean,
mean. So
time it ain't
the
counselor.
relationship with the mom is important because that'll tell you a lot that you may deal with within your own relationship. And it's communication issues, it's suppressed anger, it's all of that. He doesn't necessarily have to be disrespectful, but and I don't even really know the statistics, so I don't want to say statistics say, but a majority of the men who beat their wives and stuff like that, they have childhood trauma, and it usually points back to their mom first, and then their dad too, if the dad wasn't there or whatever. But the relationship with his mother is important because that will tell you a lot of how he may handle things within your relationship, like you were saying Thursday.
I agree.
The, I agree, but I want to ask a question. What about the woman also with their daddy? Because you are
Hmm.
talking about the men with their mother. What about the lady with their daddy? Is it also the same as that?
Same
Absolutely.
thing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, same thing. Yeah, I got daddy
Okay.
issues. Had daddy issues, and it's a work in progress. It takes
Mhm.
time. It takes years. It takes years and years and years. And a lot of my failed relationships was probably because of my relationship with my father. Your father, your mother is supposed to be your mother is your first teacher, and then your father is supposed to teach their girls, like you were saying, um, their worth, what they should deal with, what they shouldn't deal with when it comes to men, how
Mhm.
to treat
Mhm.
men. If you see a husband and a wife in the same home, you see how a wife is supposed to treat her husband and how a husband is supposed to treat his wife. And if it's toxic and it's dysfunctional, that's gonna trigger down to the kids, and then they'll have toxic relationships,
Mhm.
and the generational curse will keep going.
Yeah.
That's
But if
true.
people heal from their mommy issues and their daddy issues and their childhood trauma, I believe that a lot of our relationships will be a lot better. But
I agree.
it boils down to communication and respect.
Uh-huh.
That's the
I'm gonna
catalyst of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think people need
I
to
am.
learn how to. We talk so more a bunch about relationships, but people don't. We need before we teach people how to be in relationships. We need to teach people how to be single because it's
Yes,
almost like I would say, well, that's why you single, or you ain't gonna find no man. Like it's a like that's a punishment. You know,
yeah,
like we, and I think that's the reason why like a lot of people settle for relationships because it's like they just don't want to be alone. So
yeah.
because they don't want to be alone, they're settling for these toxic relationships, these internet relationships. Because it's like I want to be on Instagram in my pajamas too. But once you really understand how to really satisfy yourself on on an individualistic level,
Mhm.
you're
Mm-hmm.
always going to attract who you are.
Right.
So
Mhm.
I think we really need to like, okay, focus on how do you want to be as a person. And when we teach our children, oh, they got a little boyfriend, girlfriend, but like, okay, take some time to really get to know you. I think every individual
Mhm.
after high school should take at least 2 or 3 years to get to know who they are singly. I
I
know
agree.
puppy love is beautiful and all that stuff, but if you really take some time to really get to know who you are, what you love, I mean, what you genuinely love to do, not what that guy likes to do. Like I know if
Mhm.
a guy wants to court me, I know I want to go to this type of restaurant. I love hiking. I love
Absolutely.
music. And guess what? And I'm not just telling you to take me to this restaurant because I ain't never been here before because I want to spend your money. I
Absolutely.
genuinely enjoy this restaurant. And I want you to
Mhm.
share the experience with me. But a lot of these people, they don't understand what they want. They haven't had real life experiences for
Mhm.
themselves to figure out what their triggers are, what they are. And they're just molding themselves to be with them people because I need a relationship to feel validated.
And
That's
guess
You
that's
know,
what?
the problem.
That
you know,
goes back
just
to
to
the mommy
piggyback
and
on what.
daddy issues.
Hold on, wait. Before we go back to mommy and daddy issues, just to talk about
Mhm.
what you was
Come on,
talking about as
Carly.
far as
Mhm.
dating. You said you want to go to these certain places because that's what you like.
Hmm.
Okay, I can respect and understand that. But isn't dating a twofold component where I share what I like and you share what you like?
Absolutely.
So
Right.
I'm in my mind as far as dating is concerned, I'm sharing my world with you. So when I ask you out, I'm bringing you into my world to show you what I like. If there's things that you like that you want me to experience, then as a woman, I feel like it's your responsibility to bring me into your world. Show me
Exactly.
what you like.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And I think
Absolutely.
if we get to better, if we understand that better, we can date better because
Absolutely.
because you can't force me to spend my money how you want me to spend my money, and I can't
Absolutely.
force you to spend your money the way I want you to spend your money. But I do
Absolutely.
believe that we are in a different, because back in the days, 50s, 60s, and 70s, you understand that women were cultivated to be housewives.
Yep.
They weren't cultivated to be career women. That's just
Hmm.
the fact of the matter.
Hmm.
So
Right.
as far as the provider and the man brings home the bacon, the woman cooks it. That's ancient thinking, man. That's not this generation. It's women out here, especially our black sisters, our African American sisters, are deemed for like 5 years straight the most educated. They got degrees. They ain't playing. Y'all got money. Y'all taking care of
But
business.
that was systematic. That was systematically designed. They didn't want the melanated man in corporate America. They wanted to be
Right.
where the woman was the one providing for the household. That's the cause dysfunction because
and
you crumb
and
the
that
head, the body will follow. So
yeah.
and I understand that, but usually women, even the educated woman, they follow what the man likes. They don't even know what they like. It's whatever you want, baby. They on some real coming to America.
But see,
Whatever
Whatever
you
that's
you
not
like.
want.
the, but that's not
Whatever
what it's
you want.
supposed to be though.
Whatever you
It's
like. Listen to. I mean, they start. You most time a woman start listening to the same type of music the man start listening to. They start. I mean, a woman even in this dang age jails herself. Look at the Beyonces and the Obamas. They followed their man's career. These are modern day
But
women.
wait a
Even
minute,
Tiffany
Thursday.
Haddish.
Let me tell you, when you in a relationship, you're going to jail. So
Of
like
course.
you may listen to music that he never heard before, and he's going to start liking it as well. You both are going to start liking, each other's things, because you're around each other enough. You gonna
Right.
play something he didn't think he liked. Now he dancing and singing it
Right.
too. There's
It
nothing
should be
wrong
a
with
tennis
that.
match, but
But
it's
wait a minute.
but it's not like that. Even let's go. It should be that. You right. You do go back and forth, but in majority of these relationships we're talking about where they need that are toxic. I'm not talking about the healthy relationships because
Hmm.
the healthy relationships they got in there doing it. Yes, it should be symbiotic.
Right.
It should be back and forth. I'm talking about the Christine Rocks. If we're really when I first saw that, yeah, I muted it, but it was disheartening to me because she literally became his world. She got
Girl,
his
she
Janae
tattooed
Iko.
the
They got
man's face
tattooed.
on her throat.
Janae Aiko is another person. She got Big Sean tattooed on her. And I mean, yeah, all these
What?
relationships end up in breakup. Beyonce,
Normal.
they gave so much of themselves for these men. Yeah, they end up breaking it up and they end up losing them. And the man kept trying to come back and get them. But a lot of these women, if we being real, they are losing themselves in a man because they do not know who they are and
But
they're not being
let's
taught
but
to
let's
know who
be
they are.
honest. It is not always that they lost themselves in a man. They may not have known who they were from the beginning. And that's why it's imperative that when you talk about being okay with being single,
Mhm.
you have to know who you are before you jump into a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Even men, and I'm gonna say it, even men, they have to know who they are before they get into a relationship. I was watching a show the other day, and the guy was saying, people are dating backwards. He said dating is supposed to be for those tough conversations. All those hard conversations is for dating.
Yeah.
All that extra when you want to be sweet and kind to the person, that comes with marriage. You don't get married. Now you want to have the tough conversations. Now
Right.
you stuck with somebody that you don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And people
Hmm.
are dating all wrong. It's roses and everything, and you're not even thinking about it. Once you get married, where's her roses? Where's his? Where's his? Whatever he desires. You just say
Exactly.
the hell with him. We married. Okay. Remember, it was a show back in the day, and I just watched the clip, and the lady got there, and she popped her boobs off like he wanted to have sex with her, and she popped her boobs off like, wait a minute, you
I'm gonna
see
get you,
this?
sucker.
Yeah, that was
I'm gonna
right
get you, sucker.
there.
Yeah.
Women do men like that. Men do too. They wait till they get married. Now the boobs come off, and I'm not saying literally, but for real, the hair come off. They ain't never seen one without her face. Now you done seen. They be like, well,
Oh,
who the hell did I marry? Be yourself. Be comfortable. Muslim, don't be laughing at me. Be yourself.
oh,
How be yourself. Be comfortable enough to look at yourself in the mirror naked.
Mhm.
No makeup,
I agree.
naked.
So
Be
how
comfortable
do
with
we do that?
you.
How do we do that? Because honestly, we start dating. Like I went on my first date when I was in high school, right? So we're like we can say wait till you know yourself, but you start getting feelings for the opposite sex. I know. Listen, I knew I liked boys when I seen Michael Jackson and Mickey Mouse. I thought that was one person. Okay, I had a crush on both of them. But
Take it
from
to
a
there
very
now, but
young
not.
age, I always knew I liked boys. I always knew that I was attracted to opposite sex. They called me fast, but I always knew I had this attraction. So my question is, how do you figure out how to know yourself and like yourself so you won't have that? But and when you start to get you get these attractions that like teenage years, 8, 9, 10 years old,
from
you're attracted to the
Yeah.
opposite sex already
from your
Yeah.
daddy,
or the same
teaching you
sex,
your
whatever it may
worth.
be.
Or
you
your
know what? Because I'm gonna
mother.
say, I met my husband literally, you are with a do rag on. I'm serious, big jogging pants. I was doing hair. I used to braid hair.
Mhm.
Okay, so I was at the gas station. Literally, I used to smoke cigarettes. And the guy wanted my number. When he came and got me 3 days later for a date, he didn't even know who I was.
Wow.
Opened the door.
Mhm.
And I was like, I'm
Mhm.
Rita. For real. That's real. So I
Rita,
throw
you
it
outside
off.
of the do rag.
Baby, I
Listen,
will take it
I
off in a
bet
minute.
my
I'll be
husband at
dressed in
Amazon.
10
I was
minutes.
working at Amazon. I had my mask on. I had my scarf on. I was in my
Yeah.
sweatpants and my
But
leggings
that,
and
you are that's
everything.
work attire. That's work attire.
But that's where
I
I
mean,
met him.
y'all speaking to the truth
No.
of man. Y'all speaking to the truth of
But
man.
Why
And
do y'all
this
do
what
that?
no, hold on. The truth of man, the truth. I mean, I believe this is the truth of man. It's my truth though,
It
you
is.
know. But when it comes to beauty, beauty is not always skin deep.
Mhm.
And true man understand energy. At the end of the day, I
Mm,
want to be around somebody with positive energy. I want to be
mm-hmm.
around
Right.
somebody who
Oh, I'm so glad you said
I'm not
that.
saying fake it, but at the end of the day, you want to be around somebody who has that positive energy where you
Mhm.
get around them
Mhm.
and you just
Feel
feel good.
energized.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
don't want to be
Answer
around
this then,
somebody.
Kame. So, are you the type of man that's okay with since she got got positive energy? You every time you come home now, she got on some holy pajamas and a bonnet or something like that.
No, I'm not that type of guy either.
Okay, but her
Because
energy good.
well, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Uh-uh.
There is a balance. There's a balance, right?
That's what I'm
So
hmm
getting at. Like, what I'm saying is, men eat with their eyes first.
well,
And that
well,
mean they woman too. They
we
don't want
eat
to come in the house
No,
and see you
we
looking
eat
like
we
no.
this.
taste with our eyes, we feast with our soul.
Woo!
But you gotta get past the eyes first so you can feast.
That's poetic.
I know, but sometimes
No,
you gotta
is it,
understand.
is it,
If I'm talking to
is
somebody
it,
who just go ahead, son, the son.
Camille, everything that glitters is not gold.
Right. Everything that's
Everything that
sparkling is
glitters is
not
not
gold.
gold.
That's true.
Yeah, it's not gold.
And we know that.
So,
That's
So
why I
so
say we
are
me,
you
feast with our
okay with the
yes.
do
soul.
rag
That's why I say
and
we
the
feast with our
bonnet
soul
and
because
the raggedy clothes
never
when you come home from work?
hold on, wait. Before we get there, let me just say that men understand everything that sparkles isn't always gold. But just
Mm-hmm.
because they
Mhm.
sparkle and it's not gold doesn't mean that they don't want it. So they may
Mm-hmm.
augment how they move to get what they want, opposed to being deeply fed spiritually. Understand?
But
Mm.
let me ask you
Mm-hmm.
this: just because he met me in a do rag, I want a diamond. I was working.
Oh,
No, see, that's the thing. You said working. That's why you
I
said. I
was
said, but you
working.
was working. I said you was
So,
working. I seen that.
he probably saw
Watch the
that body.
replay, Rita. I said you was working.
You
he
had on
seen what?
Jordan pants, baby.
That
You was
body.
sweatpants trapping.
Yeah,
You
He
had that
I
he's
do
torso.
got a little waist though. I do got a little
Baby, they
waist
don't see.
though.
Like, I hear so many guys love a woman when they dress down because they feel like they see they like if you look good dressed down.
right.
Damn, how you
That's
looking
what
dressed
Yeah.
Yeah,
Drake
down?
said.
Yeah.
exactly.
yeah.
Drake said chilling with no makeup on. That's what you the prettiest. I hope that you don't
Yeah.
Yep,
take it wrong.
yep,
Yeah.
Because if
Mm-hmm.
you
Come
look
on.
good when you chilling with sweatpants and a
exactly,
ponytail, I know when you do it up, you're gonna be
Yeah.
fine, baby.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
right. That's right.
Right. Because
But
most men,
I do want to see you do it, put it together every once in a while. Dress up for
Exactly.
me. Don't dress up every
A
time we
lot
go
of
out.
while. Yeah.
Exactly.
Every time we about to go out, you go into the bathroom, you get yourself
Yep.
looking good, and we go out and you look good next to my side. I'm not gonna lie, but you're doing this for the world. When you gonna do it for me, baby?
that's
When
what
you
Absolutely.
I
gonna
was
do it for
getting at.
And
me?
I had to learn it.
Yeah.
So
When you
That's
my
gonna
what I
do it
was
for
getting
me?
significant
at.
other, I got on booty shorts like I'm about to go to the strip. I'm not a stripper, but I'm a stripper for my baby. And because
That
I feel
part.
like when you
Mm-hmm.
really, I love like tantric sex is the sex without sex. So you might go a few days without sex, but I'm touching you, I'm grooming you,
Mm-hmm.
I'm, oh baby, you so sweet. I'm walking around the house with my booty shorts on. Now I might not walk outside the house with them booty shorts on unless I'm in the
Right,
A or in Cali, but that's a whole different story.
right.
But listen, if I'm up
So let me say this real quick because
Yeah.
I had a conversation with my woman, you know, about how I don't want to be the one that initiates sex all the time.
right.
I want to also feel appreciated and feel attracted. I want to feel like you want me just as much as I want you,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's a fine line. Let me tell you. Asserting yourself to want sex does not make you a hoe.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you a hoe is doing that with multiple individuals. Anybody can
Mm.
get it. That makes you a hoe.
Yep.
But yo, man, I want you to be a hoe for me. Hell yeah, I want you to get dirty for me. Hell yeah, I want you to grab them ankles for me. Hell yeah, I want you to take the
Exactly.
pants off. And I want you to get yeah.
Yeah.
I want to feel like God, my baby love me. I want to be excited about going home. I don't want to be like I gotta go home. She might have had to do rag on and pajamas.
Mm-mm.
That's what I was
When
getting
you
at.
get off
See?
work, baby, I'm maked up. I ain't going nowhere.
That's
I'm
what
in the
I
house
was
all
getting at.
day.
Thank you, Carmen,
Makeup
for
on.
breaking
Soon as
that
you
thing
come in the
down.
house.
Right.
That part.
Yeah,
Right.
That part.
yeah. Let me come.
Put something
Yeah,
on for your
let me come in.
when you in that relationship, when you are married. I'm talking about married because one of the problems that women, I'm talking to women, I ain't talking about men, have is they give wife and they ain't not even a girlfriend.
Mm.
Damn.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
wife is you catering to your husband like that. You should get dressed up for him, but get dressed up for you too. Put on
Right.
something nice. Don't just do it because you're going outside. Don't just put on
Yeah,
the perfume because you're going
Absolutely.
outside. So smell good just because he coming in the
that's
Absolutely.
true.
house.
And
Look
smell
good
good for
just because he.
yourself.
Yeah,
Right.
but that's what I'm saying. Don't just. But you shouldn't. You shouldn't be walking around the house looking like a rag or outside.
Mm-mm.
You
And
know,
that
you know
goes
when
to
a
Don't
woman,
you go
when a,
outside like that.
when a woman look at a man and say, "Oh, I love him,"
Looking
right?
like a rag.
When a
Put
woman
a
say,
bonnet
"Oh,
on.
I
It be blowing in the wind. It be
right, right,
blowing in
right."
the wind.
When a,
Like
Yeah, yeah,
let's talk about
yeah,
the moment of conception. I
uh-huh.
do. Will you
Let's
marry
talk
me? I
about
do. That has to manifest, right?
Mm-hmm.
uh-huh.
You have to build to that,
mm-hmm,
right? So
Mm-hmm.
so a
mm-hmm.
woman
Yeah,
already my mother told me a long time ago, and I believe this to be true, that within 5 minutes, woman knows she like you or not.
Right.
That's just the
That's
truth.
true.
That's
You
the
know what I
truth.
mean?
I believe
And
that. Hmm.
it's not different from a man. So if you in a relationship for 5, 10, 20 years, y'all still ain't married. I mean, it's an issue there. Now,
True.
at the end of the day, in a
True. They
relationship,
told a lot of times.
it's still an interview. You still auditioning for that role of husband or wife. So I
Mm-hmm.
do believe that within a relationship, if you are committed, truly committed, you have to show me that you'll be a good wife. You
So
have to
what's
show
the
me your wife
importance of
quality.
marriage though? Like, I mean, not to be funny, but like if you decide to be with somebody, because you said that's the end goal, but if I decide I want to be with this person for the rest of my life and that's our decision, do we have to get married? Do you feel like, because I'm not sure if I want to venture down that road again.
Right. So I'm not sure either. But if when I decide to go down that road, it's gonna start from this. It's gonna
Right.
start from I can't see myself living without this person.
Got you.
That's where it's gonna start from.
Got you.
This
Mm-hmm.
person makes me
I
feel
ain't
like I'm the
fooling with them
man.
too.
This person makes me feel like I can be the best person that I could possibly be in my life. This person fills my heart with just joy and love. I love talking to this individual. She speaks to me with the kindness. I'm a marry this woman. I'm not
Right.
gonna let this woman go.
Right.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna just be a
Exactly.
friend to this woman so somebody else can be with her.
I hear
No,
that.
that's
So
when I'm gonna
what kind
start
No,
of
going down that
that's
That's real
road.
talk.
smart.
What? Yeah.
what kind of questions do you ask on your dates? Are you say you're in a relationship now, but what kind of questions did you ask on your dates to know that that was your wife or you wanted her to be your girlfriend or whatever?
So for me, I believe that I need to be compatible in 4 components. Remember, I was talking about those pillars.
Yeah.
I need to be emotionally available for one. I need to be physically attracted to you, and we need to be on the same adventurous side. Like I'm talking about not just um, going out skating and bowling and go kart racing, but as adventurous as I am behind the doors too. Like I
Exactly.
need to
Right.
be able to be comfortable talking to you about
Mm-hmm.
my fetishes and indulging in it without feeling like you looking at me like I'm nasty or I'm a creep or whatever the case may be. Because
Right.
if
Right.
you can't fulfill my fetishes, I'm going to find
Absolutely.
someone who can.
Right.
Absolutely.
You
Right.
know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm also
Mm-hmm.
looking for
That
somebody
comes with
who
knowing yourself.
knowing yourself exactly and knowing what I like.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and I know Kevin Hart got this whole bit about pineapples and it's a joke, but that's true.
Yeah.
At some
Yeah.
point, you got to let because there's nothing wrong with being a freak, right? A freak is good. You just gotta, like I said, it's
Listen how let's
clearance.
Lady
start
on the
talking
street,
about
let a freak in the
pineapples next.
bed.
They love freaks, but if I'm getting to know you and I like you, and our first time in the bed, you swinging off the chandelier, I'm like, this is natural for you. This is what you do with everybody.
Everybody.
Pineapples.
Uh, so
You
can
know what
you
I'm saying?
last longer
And
than
I'm not
five
going to
minutes on the
expose everything that
treadmill?
I, huh?
Last longer than 5 minutes on the treadmill?
Can
Ooh,
I last
he's
longer than
talking
5 minutes
about
on the
the.
treadmill?
Yes, he can.
Man, please.
Stop playing.
I'm just
Stop
asking.
playing with me.
I just want to know.
Stop.
I just want to know. I I just want to know.
If
Stop
you
playing
work
with the
in the
people,
Thursday,
last
man.
no,
Thursday.
you might see somebody on the treadmill to see if they can last 5 minutes
I
longer.
can't
Let
date
me,
a quitter.
I'm you know, like I know that there's levels to intimacy, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why a lot of individuals are hoes because they like the infatuation of
Right.
the newness.
Hmm.
The
But the
newness.
newness
Yes.
don't always feed it. You know what I'm saying? Because you constantly just doing the same thing you did with the next person to this person, and you got to learn that person. But when you
Exactly.
learn that person and you start to understand that when I whisper in her ear this, her body trembles, and she get an extra sense of you that makes that's when it evolves from just the first level of fucking to sex to making love. Once you make love, you don't want to have sex and fuck no more.
It no,
No.
no.
It's
Mm-mm.
like, what's the point?
Mm-mm.
It's like once you can lucidly dream with the person with your eyes
Oh
open.
my god.
I'm
Oh my
talking
god.
about.
No, you're
I'm
right.
talking.
Wait, Beyonce say I levitated. Like, wait, you can really
No,
do that.
seriously.
Seriously. Seriously.
Let me call my
People
husband
think
in here
that's a
real
joke. They
quick.
think that's just a bar. That's
Yeah,
some real
Um,
And that's
shit.
when you go
Muslim,
back to what
me
I'm saying,
too.
where you can communicate
Baby,
yeah,
without
I ain't never
communicating.
levitated.
Once y'all reach that level of
Baby.
intimacy, it's like, are you hungry? Did you
yeah.
eat yet? You cooking his favorite meal when he come home without even thinking about it. He giving you a
Period.
glass of water when you thirsty because y'all didn't reach that level of connection to understanding each other. Where yeah, you might have that hard conversation. It might sound like a cracked egg or it might sound like a bust open bag of flour. But when it mixed open together, it's gonna be a beautiful cake. And
Yeah.
so that's the part that people don't want to deal with, that cracked egg or that bust open bag of flour. But when you work on it and you turn it a little bit together to mix each other together, a beautiful cake comes in. But it takes time because even a cake, if you take it out too soon, it's gonna
It
sink.
fall.
So
Yeah.
it's
Yes,
the
sir.
Yeah,
patience.
that's
I
why.
think it's a level of patience we have to have. Because like you said, if I meet you quick, you fine, whatever, I can hit you, you fast. But when can I really get to know you? To take
Right.
that time to really get to understand
Mm-hmm.
who you are. And that's gonna
Yeah.
take a whole different
Oh,
level.
Yeah.
But that take work.
yeah.
Whew.
It do, but it takes
Yeah, that's what I
vulnerability.
said. Yeah, that's what I was saying. At first, when you guys have to study each other, for you coming to me, like asking me what are my do's and don'ts, if I should tell you that this is what I do, this is what I like, this is what I dislike, and probably we are in a relationship and you realize that no, what I have answered, my answers to your questions are turned the opposite way. You might think that I'm not acting accordingly, or I have lied to you when you were asking about my do's and don'ts. Now, the whole thing is you guys have to study each other. To me,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think asking me about my do's and don'ts is necessary. To me, I'm talking about my personal self. To me, what I need to do is to study you. Being in a relationship is to study you and know you very well, so that anything that I find, if I find a fault on you, or there's something about you that I don't like, I'll try as much as possible to tell you so that we can work on it. If you also find something which is on me that you don't like,
Mm-hmm.
you can tell me so that we can work on it and get the things I meant together. So
Mm-hmm.
I think you meeting somebody today and it's nice and what and jump into our conclusion. But you guys get it together before you realize, because you didn't work on your do's and don'ts, which you realize because it's something that came out or crop up in the relationship. You didn't
Mm-hmm.
work it on well or get it fixed. As time goes on, you realize that your relationship is falling apart, and there's nothing that you can do about it. So I agree with Thursday's Angel because he said it's a matter of time. You guys have to study each other very well and put things together and make things together so that you guys can grow together. So I do sympathize with what you said, Thursday.
But
Okay.
I still haven't. I'm still mastering it, you guys. And I'm just coming in full transparency because I'm single and I really enjoy it. And it's almost to the point where I feel like I enjoy it almost too much. Because no, I really do. I really enjoy
I've
being
been there.
able to have options and trying people out, and not in the same. When people say that, it's not in a sexual kind of sense, but really just dating, like for the
Right.
first time. Because
Mhm.
I had a high school sweetheart first out of high school, and then I became a serial monogamist, and now because I'm dating, I'm learning what I like and what I don't like, and different people and how different people treat me. I have options. Like, you don't have to settle for,
Right.
this one person because you love them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
just really enjoy. I have to advocate for the single people, like because I really enjoy it, and I feel like if I do get to the point where I'm ready to stick with one person, I know it'll be long lasting because I'm learning so many different textures of different things I want and don't want.
Exactly.
That's
How
right.
old are you, Thursday, if you
That's
don't mind me
good.
asking?
I am ageless and timeless.
Okay.
Facts.
I don't subscribe to a number. I'm infinite. But if you want me to give you the poetic version of it, my heart is 6 because I love like I've never been hurt. My
Okay.
body,
Mm.
I keep it at a pristine 25, and that brain gonna be 80. But I am ageless and timeless.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you a question because I didn't answer your question. I realized that I didn't. You asked what I ask on my dates, right?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that I do want to know, I want to know if an individual know how to be fed, how to fill their love tank. That's paramount for me. I think it's important that you learn what your love language is, and
Right.
and it's a book by Gary Chapman called The Five Love Languages,
Mm.
and
Yep.
I
Very
recommend
good.
everybody read it because at the end of the day, just because your love language is one thing doesn't mean that you can't frolic and entertain an individual
That's
with a different
right.
love language. You just got to pick it
Right.
up. It could be a
Right.
second
Exactly.
language for you. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm.
ultimately, I want to know that you know how to love you. And
Mm.
if you
Mm-hmm.
know how to love you, then I can definitely love you. But if you don't know how to
Exactly.
love you, how can
Mm-mm.
I love you? That's
Exactly.
Absolutely.
that's paramount for me.
Yeah.
And then for two, I'm big on I'm very attentive. Like I pay attention. And that can be a gift and a curse because
Mm-hmm.
in being attentive, if you're not asking questions, you're assuming.
Right.
Mm.
So I can come up with some assumptions that may not be accurate.
Yep.
Right.
I'm learning that about myself.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
now when I find myself going down a rabbit hole, I kind of put the brakes on
Mm-hmm.
and I start to get clarification.
There you
Exactly.
go.
Mm.
You
But
know,
see, that's
and
That's
still your
powerful.
attentiveness to
That's
even
good.
that even drew you there. But
right,
it's growth because it's
right,
still about communication. Cause
right,
I might think you want some water and offer you and just give you a cup of water, but what you really wanted was some popcorn. But
Wow.
right,
unless I asked you, I want
right.
to. So it's still about getting to know the person that you're with currently.
And understanding who you with too, because somebody be like, baby, girl, I love you. You felt my energy. It wasn't correct. It wasn't water. It was popcorn. But baby, you own that trail.
Yeah,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
and that's
Right.
what
You,
you see how
I
you stroke that
appreciate that.
ego.
I
you
See
see
how
what I'm
you
saying?
appreciate
I
do
that.
that.
appreciate. Yes,
You
that's
just
Yeah.
stroke
growth.
that ego because a man
Mhm.
can do it just like a woman can. Because when
Right,
a man do that, see how we got the women got on their conversation last week about how to speak to a man more gently to
right.
get what you want. They're like, well, what about this? It goes both ways.
Ways. Yeah.
You can stroke your woman's ego just like a man, like you can stroke a
Absolutely.
man's ego. And it needs to go both ways because you need to know what works for your partner. If you're
Mm-hmm.
doing something and it don't work, I should know it. Like, don't just have
Right.
me. I'm thinking this is something we like. We don't like this.
Right.
Dang. Well, what should we be doing right here? I want to get this right.
Communication.
And
Communication.
like that clarification is huge.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Having
Um,
those tough
What?
conversations, being comfortable with being uncomfortable with your mate.
being vulnerable, because
Mm.
that's why I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
go to vulnerability. We tapped on the subject of sex real quick, and we talked about levitating and everything. So I want to go there real quick, real quick. So when we talk about
Hold on. Before we go there, can I say one thing about dating?
come
Before we
on,
go
go
there.
there for dating, because we're gonna talk about this one too. Come on.
So and the Asian culture is becoming a phenom here in America, right?
That's true.
And
Mm-hmm.
I studied Southeast Asia when I was in college. I love the Asian culture. I just love the
Mm.
respect that man has for other men's wives. They don't even touch their hands; they bow.
Wow.
But there's this this cultural event when it comes to a boss and the secretary. Okay, and I'm using this in the sense of dating because I think that we need to get beyond men always providing. Okay, so I think it's called white something. I forget what it's called, but the secretary provides a gift for the boss, and usually the bigger the gift shows the appreciation. But the size of it and the expense of what the secretary buys Further down the road, the boss provides a gift for the secretary, triple the amount in which the secretary provide. So what I'm trying to say in a sense is if man is to be the provider, if men are to be the initiators and the driving force in dating, I think women should also play a role. It may not be as equal as that individual, 1 to 1 to a 1 to 1/3 ratio, 1 to 3 ratio. That sounds even to me. I take you on a good 3 dates. I think you should take me on one.
I agree.
And that's what I want
Mm-hmm.
to throw out when it comes to dating, which allows me to come into your world too,
Absolutely.
and it shows me what you're interested in, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna show you what I'm interested in, and dates don't always have to amount to spending. Like a date
Mm-mm.
can be
Mm-hmm.
whatever your imagination fathoms.
Right.
A walk on the park where you all go to get some your favorite Chicago style Italian beef. You know what I'm saying? You can
Mm-hmm.
go to ice rink and just skate and just hold each other's hands and play around. It's so many things that you can
Very
do
fair.
when it comes to getting to know somebody. And if we keep on putting ourselves in a box of what traditional dating is, then we're going to lose track of who we are. We got to find out
Exactly.
what we truly like, what we truly need, and we need to indulge in those components and find individuals that accept and respect those components and share
Right.
in our likes as well as us sharing in theirs. That's what I want to say about dating.
Okay, so now I'm gonna go to your dating real quick. You started off saying that you're like a buff. You like the Asian culture. I do too. And I love different cultures as well. But I'm glad you started with the Asian culture because I really study them. And in the Asian culture, when they deal with dating, they date with the purpose of being married. And they absolutely will go and check your credit score, your bank account to make sure you can provide for them. The Asian culture will not even, if you don't make a certain amount of money, you're not dateable. In other cultures, all other cultures except for ours, there's no real such thing as like a gold digger. It's about picking a provider. You pick a person that can provide you the lifestyle that you desire to be provided for. And I think that's the difference. The difference is in our African American culture, we don't have a culture. We don't have a foundation, but we
Mm-hmm.
do have Bible-based things that say that a man is
Right.
a provider and a woman is a helpmate. So it just depends on you, on what it is that you want to be brought to the table for you. So nobody can say, some women will fight you down tooth and nail to be 50-50 in a relationship. I just don't, I'm just not that woman. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
well,
Some
I,
women will pay, wait,
I
some
think
women will
Yeah,
go 50-50 on the date.
right,
I'm just not that woman. I feel like I'm
yeah,
not about to pay you to get to know me.
right.
yeah. You were talking about Asian culture of dating. Maybe probably that will lead into marriage. But to we the Africans, we have different types of cultures because we have so many languages spoken right here in Africa. But the major one that I want to speak about is when you want to get married, you want to date a lady. Previously, when you are found a lady to date, you have to tell your families, your mom or your daddy, that is the lady I found. Then they will go and make a research, background research about the lady, to find out whether there is any contagious diseases in that family, whether
Oh
there is
God.
any problem in that family, whether there is any madness, disease, or mental problem in the family. They will have to make those kind of research and make sure that there's nothing of that sort that pops up in the family or that is related to those issues before they will allow your son to get into it. But before your son will get married to that person, they first of all have to check whether you, the man, you have a place to accommodate yourself. There are certain things that you have to buy, you have to have on your own, like a pair of trousers. I'm talking about our cultures. A pair of trousers. There is a club that is a men's club. You have to have that. You have to have a bed. You have to have an extra piece that can accommodate a second person or the third person. In this sense, if you have given birth, the baby will not struggle. So these are some of the cultures that we have. But the system in which we have now, everybody jumps into marriage or into dating. That leads into marriage. Some
Thank
don't
you.
even get into marriage. Some even get into this like giving birth, and that's it all. Maybe they will end up breaking up. The guy is not looking after the children, taking care of the children or the mother, and this has brought a lot of broken homes. But previously, in my grandfather's time, in my mother's time, these things, these cultures exist. That's why they got the perfect marriage in those days. But now we have emulated or adapted some cultures which is not part of ours into the system, which has made so many homes broken. So there are a lot of people who have, got into houses to get married, which they don't supposed to. And
Mm.
some people right here, let me say, they have um, family curse, which transcends to that blood lineage. So as soon as you enter into that house and have a relationship and get married to them, you are also affected because the children that you are going to give birth to automatically they are going to inherit this kind of cases. So these
Wow.
are some of the things that I just want to talk about because you brought up about Asian relationship. So to clarify this, because I realize that African Americans don't have a culture, as you said, but they just relate to the Bible. Yes, and the Bible also said, as I said, the Bible also said there are certain things a man must have before getting married. And this part of the culture that we have, that's why I mentioned pair of trousers, this and that you have to have before getting married. So this part of us, so I have to explain to you because perhaps you might not hear about this, so I have to, bring it up so that you can also have a clear view of it. Yeah.
I agree with you, the son. I also agree with you too, Carly. At the end of the day, yeah, I do believe I would never tell my. I mean, I will promote that my daughters date according to what they desire.
Mm-hmm.
And if you desire for an individual to be able to provide for you financially, then you need to date an individual who can provide for you financially. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? If you make the means and you don't care, then that's your choice. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, I do believe that there should be some elements that you should be bringing forth before you
Right.
even enter into the arena of dating in the first place. You
Right.
living with your mom and you just playing video games in the basement. You need to check your life before you start dating anyway, because that's what
Mhm.
you
Absolutely.
scarring women.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like you acting
Yeah,
like you doing
yeah.
something and you ain't. Get your life
For me,
together. Gift. I'm
I
listening.
mean, yeah, I agree with you, but in this sense, I think that if your daughter want to date somebody who is a millionaire, who is a this, but you know the consequences, you have to advise her first before she goes. Because when she goes and things did not work out very well, she will return to you. So there is your responsibility to, take on this by advising her. You are the experienced person. You give birth to her. So you are the father, the godfather on earth. You have been through many things. You have seen more than her. So
Right.
you have to bring this topic to her. I mean, educate her enough concerning where she's going. Maybe probably she will
Am
listen
I?
to you.
You
I
right.
She
I
And my
agree.
road
yeah, she
don't
might
stop
listen
there.
to
My
you.
road don't stop there. And I mean I was married too. Unfortunately, my marriage was was stopped at unbeknownst to me, she was taken from me too early. The beautiful
Oh,
soul, Miss
I'm
Lakia.
sorry.
I love her to death, but to life and everything, the moon, the sun, whatever the case may be, she can always be in my heart. But and,
Mhm.
my issue with her father is that we communicated in a very biased setting. He didn't care what I felt. He didn't care what I seen. He didn't care how I perceived whatever the case may be. He understood his daughter, and he was going to defend his daughter by all means, regardless if she was right or wrong. And we as African Americans, we tend to do that. I
Right.
was listening to a podcast, and this individual by the name of Gilbert Arenas was telling us how the difference between white culture and black culture in the basketball arena when it comes to money. The black community, we are giving back. We got to bring our parents up. Our parents are living vicariously through us. We
Mm-hmm.
always a generation back. We're
Mm-hmm.
going backwards. We got to
Mm-hmm.
help them. We got to go
Mm-hmm.
back to them.
Mm-hmm.
But white culture, they are probed to set up for the future generations, their children's children,
Mhm.
their children's children's children. And we have to learn not how to keep going backwards, but to move forward. And
Or
in moving forward, we have to cultivate relationships that is genuine If my daughter chooses an individual that she genuinely loves, then I love that individual just off the premise that my daughter chose them.
Right.
I agree, and I
Period.
think I agree with both of you guys are saying, but I think that goes back to what I was saying as far as like, how do we establish the make sure these children don't have these toxic relationships when they get older. So my dad's African. I'm mixed. And I really feel like if my dad was more involved with my marriage process, if my dad was more involved with my whole dating process, if there was some type of concrete, this is what I expect from my daughter. This I won't let this in my family. I don't think my first marriage would have ended the way it did. My father passed in 2020, and I feel like spiritually, he's guiding me now.
Right.
What you're talking about,
My
what you guys do in
my
African
dad
culture,
also passed 2020.
huh?
My daddy
Thank
also passed 2020.
Yeah, thank respect,
Wow.
My
respect.
dad
Give
did
love
too
and
in
light.
2020.
2020. So
Wow.
2020 was a
Wait a minute. My dad passed in 2022.
yeah.
What?
Hold
Yeah.
Wow.
Mine 2022.
No,
What?
2022.
2020.
So
Mine was 2020.
there's a
Mine
2020.
was
generation.
22.
There's a sweep.
2020.
There's all every
Oh,
100 years.
okay.
There's a generational sweep to go ahead and undermine because the thing there's no disconnect between African culture and American culture. I'm Native American. That's how I identify myself. I'm Native American and African. Okay, so when we indigenously go back into the roots of the American indigenous melanated person, we had a lot of the same similarities to our African brothers. You
Right.
understand? So the family was not in discord. Right now,
Right.
we're talking about a family that's in discord. So you don't want your family involved because there's so much dysfunction because the Bible
Right.
was
Right.
implemented. I'm not gonna go there. I
You better
digress.
preach.
You bet.
However, However, moving forward, like I said, my ancestor, my father who passed away, he is guiding me. I date better now than I ever dated before.
Yeah.
Because one thing my father told me once I reconnected with him after he got deported was out of sight, but never out of mind. Everybody understand energy follows thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So I do feel like what son is talking about is something we need to get back to where the family's involved. What is your history? Because as an adolescent or as a young adult, I'm not attuned to ask these questions because I haven't lived the life to even ask those questions to prepare myself. But the unfortunate thing is that we have these dysfunctional adults like Kame is speaking upon, who's interjecting and is not coming from a whole family holistic gathering because sometimes the daddy don't know what he's talking about. Let's talk to Big Mom. Let's talk to
Right.
That
Grandma.
part.
Let's get the
Yes.
Right.
whole
Mhm.
family involved. But
The
there is a
village.
genocide going on.
The
Mm-hmm.
There's
The
village.
going.
village.
There's a reason why all of we say our fathers have gone in 2020, 21, 2022 because there was a systematic genocide. But I digress. But I do agree with you,
Mm-hmm.
son. We need to bring the family back in and get more back
You're
to
right.
your African culture, which is our culture.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
that's what we missing. I'm
Mm.
telling you, like, people don't understand about the dating culture. Back in
Yes.
the day, it was no such thing as dating.
Mm-mm.
There was
Mhm.
no dating. You got married. It was about marriage. It wasn't
Yep.
about dating. They gave dowries. They gave money. They gave goats. They gave livestock. They had to give to even get the woman. They had to have something to purchase her. I'm saying purchase.
Still to this day.
But you
Mhm.
get
To
what I
this
mean?
day in
It was a
Africa.
diary. So
Mhm.
people are sitting
Mhm.
up here complaining about 50-50. But before you could even take that woman out for one day, this is your wife. What do you have? Show me your assets. We are so far removed from that. We got people up
Mm.
here like that really don't make any money at all talking about 50-50 because they can't afford to pay attention. And the truth of the
Mhm.
matter is they can't afford to date. You sit up here and have a baby with one of these 50-50 ninjas, and now you got to chase him down for some child support. And he became Muslim and got a bow tie on, selling a little paper and got and bean pies to avoid paying child support because he hiding his money. I'm just
Okay.
being real with
Okay.
you.
Let me ask a question. Let me ask a question. No, a serious
Carla.
question.
Okay.
I'm not
Let
talking about all the Muslims because look, I got
I
Muslim
know.
family members,
Let
but
me let
people
me
be
let me
hiding
ask
their
let me
money.
ask one question. One question. This is for your comment about how you're right. Back in the days, men used to just
Mm.
provide. They like somebody. They show that the father everything that they want to give.
Mm-hmm.
His daughter, and then they become husband and wife. You're right.
Yes.
That
Right.
was the way. And they cherished this woman because they knew what they spent on this woman. They
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 put
Exactly.
money
they
down.
valued her worth.
Right.
Exactly.
We live in a. I make 80,000.
Now
You
we
make 80.
can't get men to take you to dinner. They want
Wait a
50-50
second.
on
Wait a
dinner.
second. Wait a second. Wait a second. I make 80,000. You make 80,000, right?
That
Now we
wasn't what happened. They
wait,
brought
wait,
the
wait, wait,
money
wait,
to the
wait, wait, wait,
table.
wait. Let me ask a question. Let me ask a question.
Come on.
Hypothetically, if both of us are making 80, 70, thousand a year, right? And I introduce myself to you. I like your vibe. We vibing, right? I decide to take you out. I take you out, and you enjoy my company as much as I enjoy your company. From the day from day one, we're gonna move to date two. I take date two. I take. At what point do you say, okay, let me take him out, or do you say he the man? He gotta pay everything. And if that is the
I've taken
case,
people out on dates before.
right? That's all I'm
I
saying.
Yeah.
I'm just
I
have.
saying.
like the third, usually the third date. Like,
I don't
okay,
never,
because
and you never know what date I'm gonna choose. Like, I pick it when I feel like it. When I feel like
Period.
I'm
I
ready to put
respect
you
it.
on,
I'm just
take
saying.
you on a
I'm
date.
just saying. For me as a man, I'm not counting no coins because I'm not expecting you, but I am paying
I'm not a
attention.
good
I,
example.
But
I'm
let me
paying.
ask you
I'm a
this.
horrible example at this.
Let
I
me ask
am
you
because
this.
I'm a little spoiled. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a little bit different, so I try not to put myself in there because I'm a little bit different. I've had
And I
people
respect
offer
that. I
me a
respect
lot
it
of
because
different
you're gonna
things.
be somebody who's gonna be on your wavelength. Period. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
I'm only gonna date a certain kind of guy. If you telling me
Exactly.
I gotta pay for
And
my
I'm gonna
dinner,
meet
I'm not
somebody on my
doing it. Why I'm gonna
wavelength.
go to dinner with you? I can pay for my own dinner. I ain't gotta
Exactly.
watch you chew your food. You ain't gotta ask me no stupid questions. You ain't gotta talk to me about when you gonna get some ass.
Well,
Why I'm gonna pay 50
it's
50
certain
pay
things.
for my own food
It's certain things
to
that I
sit
do
there and
feel.
talk to
Wait,
you
wait, wait, wait.
about you getting in
It's
my panties.
it's certain
Then you
things
give
that I
me a
do.
baby
Wait,
and
wait,
I
wait, wait,
gotta
wait, wait,
pay
wait.
for the whole baby.
It's certain things that I do feel that a man got to come out of pocket for all the time. There's
You
certain
couldn't
things that
afford dinner.
yeah, dinner is one of those things. When it comes to dining, I do believe I would not ever allow a woman to pay for me, especially if I got the money in my pocket. That's just
respect,
how I feel. When it comes to
respect.
dining, I'm not about to expect a woman to pay for my food. I'm paying for my food and hers. That's just how I feel personally.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I'm not talking
Yeah,
about. I'm
but
talking about like
Camille,
I'm talking about
Camille,
dates. I'm talking about not dining. I'm talking about dates like going on a concert or going to a
Yeah.
gun range or going to a tobogganing or going to skiing or one of those things. Like that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about activities,
Now, I've
not
paid for
dining.
activities. I've paid for dates and stuff. I don't even care about that.
Right.
But it would not be with somebody. I'm telling you, I wouldn't even go out with somebody that told me I had to pay for half the date.
No, I feel you, and you
I wouldn't
shouldn't.
even do
The
it.
first
And I
date,
would.
yeah. Hmm.
I wouldn't
That
even
first
do
date,
it.
the man should definitely court. But I love it. I don't tell them. So this is how it usually is. Like usually, the third date is usually like a movie because we know each other enough. We've had the pre-screening, we had the phone conversation.
Mm-hmm.
We went for tea because that's my
Mm-hmm.
first 2 dates. Phone conversation, tea. We might have did dinner. Okay, we
Mm-hmm.
got to know each other a little bit more. Okay, we might have that. Let's go to the movies because I'm a movie goer. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
in that movie, when it's time for you to pay for that ticket, I ain't even gonna tell you. I got you, baby. Now I
Right.
might not. It's either the ticket or the beverage or the snacks. I'm not gonna do
Right.
both. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's my way of showing you, like,
I
you
got you
don't
too.
always got. I like you enough. We didn't win. I talked to you over the
Right.
phone. You stimulated my brain.
Right.
You was a treadmill. You didn't quit in 5 minutes. You
Right.
know,
Right.
we ate a great dinner. I mean, you not eating. You not eating low vibrational foods. So
Right.
yeah, let's go to the movies. And
Right.
when we go to the movies, when it's time for you to pay for that ticket, I'm like, nah, baby. I got or now I'm gonna go take it to 2023. I already got the tickets I ordered online. You ready?
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
that
Mhm.
right there,
That's
that man gonna be like, what? I love to
period.
knock them off their feet with it.
That's
Like they
all
weren't
I'm
even
saying.
expecting it.
All I'm saying is that our society has perpetuated that we have to always keep our cape on. But
Hmm.
Clark Kent, he takes his cape off too and put on some glasses. He understands that he's human too. And all I want to say and express is that men are human too. Men have emotions too.
Mhm.
We cry too. We laugh too. We want to feel love too. The same way that you are desire and want to feel yearned after, men want that as well. The same.
Men have to articulate that. Y'all have to say that.
But why do we have to articulate it? We want things without them saying. We say, well, he should
You
have just
better
knew.
say that.
When you
That's what I'm
love somebody,
saying.
you don't have to listen. Because when you're selfless, I want to know how can I make this man happy. Just like his
Right.
beginning, how can I make him? I love to see him
But he has
smile.
to
I love because when
tell
he smiles,
you.
he hugs me tight. So like, I'm
No,
thinking of he done made me happy. He done rubbed my toes. He done took me to go get a massage. He done got my hair done. He doing everything. So I'm like, dang, what? Now I'm thinking in my back of my mind, I want to reciprocate that.
Do you know how
and
I
you know
tell
what?
women? Do you know
I
how I
love to
tell women
Thank
surprise my
how I
him.
friends.
love? I'm sorry. What'd you say, Carly?
I said, listen, I love surprises. So when
Mhm.
I'm dating somebody, when I'm with somebody, I love to surprise them the same way. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
always doing something. So it's never
Hmm.
just one-sided. You it's not, and I don't like to say everything I
Cha-ching.
do because I like the person to be surprised about the way I care about them. Because
Listen,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
you hit
surprise
it.
you the way I want to be surprised. And
Exactly.
sometimes I go above and beyond.
You hit it. You hit it right there on the head, Carly. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Listen, the
yeah,
way
I
the way
got it.
we as human, the way we treat people is the way we want to be treated.
That's
Exactly.
how
That's
it
how
To
we
should
teach
be.
tell you.
people.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
I got a
Yeah, yeah,
question.
yeah.
I got a
Okay.
question. All this is really good. So I wanted to know. Let me change it up a little bit. So we got some experience on the panel, right? That's been through some marriages and that's divorced, and some lost some. Sorry about your loss.
I appreciate it.
I wanted to know. I want to know, what do a successful relationship look to y'all
Oh, that's a good
today?
question.
Look like, what do it look like today? Because we can sit up here and we can speculate and all that good stuff, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
But come on, let me know what. So, am I doing something wrong? I'm here. I'm all ears.
It
But
just
you have a
depends on
successful
the
relationship,
individual.
so
I
It depends
do.
on what.
I
Who
do.
gonna go
So,
first?
It depends on the individuals and what might like success to you may not look like success to us. So it just
Right.
depends on the people that are in the relationship. And again, it goes back to knowing who you are, what you're gonna deal with, and what you're not gonna deal with. I think the foundation that's laid in the relationship, that that creates a successful relationship, because you can't build a house without the foundation. And once the foundation is gone, then the walls go up and then the rest of the house is built. But you can't do anything until that foundation is laid. And that comes with the communication again, and knowing what you want and what you don't want. Because if you build your foundation and all your bricks around your foundation is bricks of trust, once the walls go up, then that starts the structure of the house. But if that
Hmm.
foundation of trust is not there, the whole shit is gonna collapse, right?
that's the
Facts.
The
word.
whole house is gonna fall, everything.
That's the
So
word.
success to me may look different to Miss Rita and her husband.
hmm,
Success for me is making sure we're in this house every month. You know what I mean? Making sure
you
Okay.
my
hear me?
kids
Come
got
on.
something to eat the way these food prices is. Shit. If I go grocery shopping and spend less than 300, that's successful. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on the, it just depends on the couple.
I
The
agree. I agree.
requirements,
You know,
yeah.
I was with my brother and his wife, and I was amazed by their interaction because our father at the time, he was engaging and throwing like some unnecessariness in the mix, and his wife was catching it, and she was popping fly, and she was going off a little bit, she was feeling agitated, and the way he handled it, the way he understood where she was coming from, and how he allowed her to express herself, not mute her,
Mm,
and
mm,
he still let her know that he got your back. You
Mm.
know, it's just it's some things that just resonate for me. At the end of the day, it's not a matter of competition.
Right.
It's understanding your partner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
exactly.
sometimes your roles have to change. Sometimes
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the man is emotional at this juncture, and the woman
Mm-hmm.
needs to be steadfast and say, "Baby, I got you." Sometimes the woman is emotional at this juncture, and the man needs to say, "Baby, I got you."
Right.
A phenomenal relationship for me is an individual who understands those dynamics, and it
Yes.
really does take work. It's
Mm-hmm.
not a matter of just going out to eat. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Right.
matter of truly
Yes,
cultivating and talking and
yes,
having those conversations that you are afraid to have.
yes. That's what Muslima also said just now, because the foundation must be built on communication, but majority must be built on trust. So what you said, if the trust is being there, I think knowing a person, having a conversation with a person, studying each other, educating each other, shaping each other. With this,
Yes.
I think it's all descend to what you just said.
Hmm.
Because when maybe the man is down, the lady is supposed to, uplift the man's spirit. If the
Mhm.
woman is down, the same thing implies to the woman as well. So I think with this, you guys must build, if the foundation is being solid, I think there's nothing that can come between both of you, and at the end of the day, you achieve a greater relationship that will lead into a better marriage and a successful family.
That's true.
So
Right.
I
all
agree.
that, yeah, all that Muslima said. I'm not mentioning the Muslima, all right? I'm not
Muslima.
mentioning
Just say
Muslima.
it. Muslima.
Yes. So all that she said, is based on the foundation. If the foundation is solid,
Right.
it's just like, let's presume that you are building a story building about 100 floors. If the foundation is not well firmed and solid, it can contain all those buildings
That's right.
up there. And
Mhm.
if it's shaky, the shaky in this sense means that when there's no trust, when there is miscommunication, when you don't believe it, you don't believe your woman also don't believe you. There is an assumption. You think the woman is cheating on you, whilst it's not like that. The woman also believes that you have been cheating. And there is some misunderstanding. These are the unsolid rock or unsolid foundation that you built. So as soon as that building is erected, surely it will come down. It will break one day. But as
That's
soon
it.
as
Oh.
it's very as soon as it's very solid and it's built on, is there. That body will stay there for so many years.
Mhm.
Mm.
So I
I
think
agree.
our sister has really answered our questions.
I think what make me and my husband relationship solid is like you said, Muslima, the foundation. Like it does not matter if I'm wrong. We're gonna correct each other in our wrong. Like we
Mhm.
really have them hard talks. Like you gotta look in the mirror and you gotta know that everything about you ain't right. And
Right.
we do
Right.
that as a couple. We really
Mhm.
do that. We hold each other accountable for being a certain type of individual because literally all you have is your word
Mm-hmm.
in the
Mhm.
world. So you know what I'm saying. So be accountable for who you are, what you are, and know where you're
Mhm.
going
Right.
and whose you are. And that's just
Uh-huh.
it. If you stand on some solitude, I feel like the relationship will definitely be successful because the fight get hard. But
Yeah.
are you ready to spar? Because we gonna
Right.
spar over here.
Right.
You
Yikes.
know what I'm saying? So you gotta be ready for that ugliness
Yeah,
because it get ugly
yeah,
sometimes. But is it worth the fight?
yeah. Rita, I think that those fights, those problems that crops up. Let me put it in this way. I once said that the foundation must be built on a solid rock or a solid foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So if the relationship is being built like that, when you are building, let's presume that you are a mason and you are building a building. You know, there are sometimes when you are building, you feel like this bricks is not positioned very well. I have to
Mm-hmm.
use my
Mhm.
level to correct it.
Mhm.
This part supposed not to be like this. I have to
Mhm.
correct it.
Yeah.
Those are the hiccups that we do have in relationships that we have to work on. But if you
Mhm.
still want the bricks to remain like that and you build upon it, you will see that at the end of the day, your house will be crooked. Some parts
Right.
will not be nice. But when you shape it very well, at the end of it, it will look very great. So their fights, the attitude, and some of the things that we go through are the things that we shape, like presuming that you are building. That's why I'm using building as an example. So with this, when those things are being corrected, at the end of it, or at the completion of the house will look very solid and presentable and very beautiful. This is where you come out someday when you are in your old age and tell your husband that we've come a long way and we have achieved a greatness of
Mhm.
what we've been through because
Right.
our foundation was very solid.
Right. And that house is not
Yes.
going to be built, or that building is not going to be built overnight. It takes time. Your foundation might be
Fine.
trust,
Mm.
communication, and some other stuff, and go all the way up here, and
Mm-hmm.
then you can start
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
building. But regardless of what your
Mm-hmm.
foundation is for your relationship or your marriage, it has to be solid, or the house
Mm-hmm.
is gonna fall down.
Absolutely.
And I agree with you too, Rita. As
Yeah.
far as accountability, that's definitely
Mm-hmm.
paramount too. I'm gonna tell you,
Hmm.
like
That's
I
a
just had a
big thing in
That's a
relationships.
It's
big,
a big deal.
yeah.
You know, I was talking to my
Mm.
daughters. I was talking to my daughters, and I was just telling them how I was proud of them and how they moved, and I took a lot of credit for how they moved.
As you
And
should.
my daughter, she said something that was just like profound, and I'm gonna just share it with you guys. She said that initially she did move more so like, is that something that my dad would approve of or disapprove of? But she got to the point where she started to understand herself, and she didn't. It wasn't a matter of, is that something that my father would approve of or disapprove of. She started moving like, is that something that I approve
Wow.
of or disapprove
That's
of?
right.
And when you are in a relationship and you hold yourself to a sense of accountability,
Mm-hmm.
it transcends to that. So
Absolutely.
Hmm.
when accountability is implemented, then respect is underlaid
Automatic.
That's right.
automatic
Mm-hmm.
because
Automatic.
That's right.
because you
Automatic.
you going you're not going you're going to hold yourself to a standard.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to hold yourself to and we need to hold ourselves to not lying. And if you hold yourself to not lying, then it's going to change your action, because you don't want to
Hmm.
lie about what you don't want to do.
That's
Mm-hmm.
right.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? If
Integrity.
Be true.
Mm-hmm.
integrity matters.
Integrity.
Be
Yes.
true.
Integrity.
Yeah.
And those components is vital in relationships. If
Hmm.
you don't have those in relationships, your relationships is not going to last.
No.
Mm-mm.
It's about accountability. It's about integrity. It's about trust. It's about
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
honesty. It's
Yes.
Hmm.
about
Gratitude,
It's
communication.
character.
about growth.
I
Care. And
ran my
if
salon.
Mm-hmm.
if
I
you're
ran
not
my
working on
salon on
those
that.
components, just stay out of the dating game, because
Period.
Yes.
you about to saturate the dating pool, and just get you're not ready.
Yeah,
But
Right.
and
if
it's
you are
about
ready,
growth. People
You
have to
pissing in the
realize when
pool.
you
Don't
get
piss in the pool.
right. If
facts.
you got to realize, people have to realize when you get, because Rita was asking about marriage. When you get involved in a relationship, you have to make sure the person is willing to. It's going to grow. Like I outgrew my
Mm-hmm.
spouse. Like literally, I outgrew him.
Change
You
is
have to be
inevitable.
willing to wait. You have to be willing. You don't
Willing
know
to
when you get
grow.
to a certain age or whatever. You when you first meet the person, you don't know that you're going to outgrow them.
No.
But
And
then
that
Goes
person
back to
got to be willing, like you
communication.
said, to grow with
to
you.
grow
Like,
with
are you
Yes.
you.
willing? Are you willing to come on? Let's get them roots up.
Now
Let's
let me
keep
tell. Now I'm gonna say
growing.
this. I'm
Keep
gonna tell
building. We
the
on a
truth and
different
shame
floor
the
now.
devil. Though
Yeah.
The
I
person,
did
Yeah.
have signs
yeah,
that this person may be more
if
stagnant
the
than
person,
myself. You
no, the
understand? So I
person,
did have
if
signs. The
no,
the
the
signs.
person will go with yes. Rita was asking whether to ask whether the person should be willing to go with you. It's true.
Hmm.
But if the person is willing to go with you, you have to see through her actions, not her
Right.
words.
Yes.
Because
Right.
actions speak louder than words. So you
Yeah.
Right.
have to see through the person's action. That's it.
Absolutely.
You can come to me, I can tell you, are you willing to go with me? I can say yes. Because I want to be in a relationship with you. But within a week, you might say that I've changed. I'm not willing to go with you. Maybe your expectation is not like mine, and I'm not going to sympathize with what you plan to do. Because I want a relationship. Let me put it this way: some people just want to sleep with you, so anything that they will do to sleep with you, they will do it.
Mm-hmm.
So any topic that I thought you bring in a relationship or dating, they will accept it. I'm talking from the perspective of men,
Hmm.
but I'm not saying that all men, but majority of them. This is what they do because they want to have you. They will agree to whatever you say. They will do whatever they want to do for you just to have you.
We
After
know.
having you, whatever you say is out of bounds.
Hmm.
Right.
So the
Hmm.
person, if the person is willing to go with you, you have to see it through the person's action.
Right.
Absolutely. And I
And
think
but
That's
that's
see,
the
they
true.
don't
biggest.
even have to grow with me. He could have grew by himself. I would have been okay with that.
That's because you like them seasoned men. You want that man with that's
Just grow,
already
period.
Now
That what
that
you
was
looking for.
good, Thursday. Them seasoned men.
She want that seasoned. already there. But I
That's
So
agree.
right.
I
Carly,
mean,
I got a question. I'm sorry, Thursday. Did I cut you
oh, you know,
off?
you good. You absolutely good. I just
Okay.
Come
agreed.
on, Rita.
Okay. So yeah, cause you do like them seasoned men. You said 15 years plus, bro. So I got to ask when we going to this table and we keeping it short and sweet with the conversations, are you getting groomed in that way to keep it short and sweet?
Am I getting groomed or are they getting groomed?
Oh
Oh,
shit.
that's good. I like that, Carly. Okay,
Okay.
come on,
I'm like,
talk
are
to
you
me.
talking to me?
Big G
Okay.
energy. Big
I'm talking to
energy.
the master. I'm talking to the
Let
master.
me tell you something. Let me explain something to you.
Yeah.
And it works across the board. I don't care how old the person is. I've been on dates
Okay.
with people that are younger, right? And so it's about being a lady. Men are attracted to women that act like a lady. They want a lady in the streets and a freak in the bed. That's the truth.
Facts.
That's the
Facts.
truth. So when I'm dealing with people, I'm going to still be a lady no matter who they are. I'm gonna still bring me. Most older gentlemen are attracted to me. So I let them know. I'm like, okay, I love me a silver fox. I just let them know that they're in the right arena. Okay. The most of the silver foxes are interested in providership. They understand a
Absolutely. That's
courtship.
true.
They
Mm-hmm.
understand
That's
what that
true.
means. I am a family already. I need somebody that understands that I'm already a family. So I need you to be okay with coming into my family and becoming a family with us.
Mhm.
And most older gentlemen they are okay with that and they like the idea of coming in and being a family. Now don't get me wrong. I've met some young ones that want to step up to the challenge. The problem is I got two grown sons, and they're not gonna let no little young dude walk up on their mama like, "Hey, I'm your stepdaddy." They're not about to do that. It's just not gonna work out. So I'm not even going to go there and bring home no 20-something-year-old dude just to see. Cause listen, it's two of them, and they'll pick me up out the way and say, "Excuse me, mama, who this dude think he is?" So I mean, I'd rather date an older guy anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I,
because I mean, you have to consider this too. You have to consider respect. In African culture, is like now that that thing just want to like they want to adapt that system. Like an elderly person who has a family already will date somebody like at the son's age or the daughter's age in Africa. But in Africa in general, if you have a family already and maybe you've divorced or your husband is dead or you don't have you have splitted with your husband, you are no longer there. Then that means that you have to go for an elderly person who will understand you, who also want to bring up a family, who also want to maybe the man also has a family already, but not staying with the wife. They are splitted, they don't have anything doing anymore. Both of you can come together to build up the family by supporting each other's children. So you bring your children together, they become one family. But you never go for any younger person that would be your daughter or your son's age into the family. It's a shame. Everybody will be laughing at you. Our
Yeah.
culture frown on that. We
And
don't
that's
support that
horrible.
over here. But it's
I'm
not
saying
that
that's horrible.
yeah, but it's not that
And,
people are
They
adapting that kind of
young.
culture
They make it hard, but
into
son, let me
the
tell
system.
you, they make it hard. These young boys, and I'm
They
not
do
saying that
because they
my
know what
boys
they
are
want.
disrespectful. I'm not saying that my boys are disrespectful. They live in their own spaces. They live away. They do their own things. But I just know that, like, for me, if I feel like I could have breastfed you, then I can't. I can't. I
But what if
can't.
that's your soulmate?
Oh yes, I do
My
understand
soulmate
you.
is his silver.
Yeah,
That
and
yes,
I dated a
it's
younger guy. I mean, he was young. I mean, he was close to my son's age. I know I'm ageless and timeless, but sometimes my offspring be trying to tell my business. But so I dated a younger guy, and he was like, I mean, he was fun. And then when I had the conversation with my son, because I mean, he was like, "Ma, for real, you want a boy?" And I'm like, he 8 years older than my son. What the hell? He was like, I tried it. I was like, you young. He was like, I know what I want. And he wasn't. He was providing. honey. But at the end of the day, when he put it Young Boy, NBA Young Boy, I was like, this is the same song my son listened to. And I couldn't, I
Ain't
just,
no
he was
way.
listening to NLE Chopper, but
I can't.
I could,
I can't.
I mean, I do like NLE Chopper, so I kept that track. But when he put an NBA
Well,
Young Boy, I was
well,
like,
we need to understand we are the bridges. We can't negate our relationships to our younger
yeah,
generations, right? But just because we have an interest in our younger, we are the mature ones.
I
We
don't got no
we
interest.
we cultivate those relationships. I agree with you, the son. It just don't sit right with me. I'm not going to I got 21, 22-year-old daughters. I'm not dating no 21, 22-year-old. I'm not. They
Right.
got to be at least 10
Hey,
years
boo
older than
boo.
my daughters.
Right.
Period. That's just
And
that's just me.
right.
Let me say,
And Carly.
But
So I
one day,
so
Yes,
I
Miss Rich.
initiated
one
that
day,
question because my husband is 7 years older than me.
oh wow,
Okay. So I remember a time in this marriage or in our relationship where I felt like I was really coming into my own, growing into my own. But I felt like this older man did have an influence on some of the way I thought at once upon a time. So that goes back to me reintroducing myself. Yes, I am who I am foundation
Girl.
wise, but now some things have changed about me.
Right.
I ain't only, the tenderoni you met. Now I'm coming into my queenism. So I got some other standards
okay.
for you.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
I
Yes.
get that
So
because when I was
so
25, I
what?
thought one way,
That's what I
then
mean.
30, and then 40. 40 set it off. 40
I was
set it
like,
Listen,
off
wait
for
a
you
me.
know
minute.
what? I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this. See, and I don't
what
know if
40?
nobody know
How
this,
40
but
set
you
it
about to
off?
find out live. You about to find out real live this little secret I got. Girl, I used to date one of the security guards at our school. But
Which one?
Wait, while you was
Which
in
one?
school? While
Look,
you was in
Tell
school?
me about that.
Huh?
wait. It was after graduation, but I
Okay.
knew
All
where I
right.
knew him from. And as soon
You
as I
been
got
dating old
legal,
men.
I made sure that we
That's what
we
she.
was
That's what
up.
she into.
In high school, dating a security guard.
I'm just saying. I'm not gonna say who, but I did. But let me tell you
Please don't.
something. It is true that older men can groom you. And that's
Yeah.
why I brought up that person because at that time I was like really young. I was like early 20s. And they were like
mm,
15 years older.
Mhm.
And that's different because you really don't know who you are for real. So it's certain
Right.
things that
yeah,
it's like, but
yeah.
but listen, I wasn't no fool because I noticed certain things and I cut things off.
Hmm.
Was never a fool
mm.
with it. And even
Mhm.
today, when I deal with my older people, they try it. They say little things. They want to they want to take control of your career. They want to make it like it's their idea, certain things. And sometimes you just, you gotta put your little, it's
You know.
called putting your sugar Avery on it. You just let them know. It's not a big deal
They
because
gave you
you
tea
should.
or lemonade? What we talking about?
You know. Can
I
I?
ain't putting no spit
Oh,
no
oh,
lemonade.
well, these is the ones who think of the ideas. Thank you.
But
Can I?
I'm
Can
just
I add?
saying
Can I add to this conversation real quick? I'm
it's
gonna
a
tell you.
conversation.
I'm gonna tell you like our Native Americans, because all the melanated individuals here on this earth don't come from Africa. It was melanated
Right.
individuals here in America before slavery and all that other stuff. But you can relate to African American, you can relate to Native American, but ultimately I was born here in America. I go to any other country, I'm American. But aside from that, I want to just talk about the perspective of white America and Black America because it exists. And I watch TV shows, and white America get the plethora of characters where Black Americans don't.
Mm-hmm.
But what I can acknowledge and what I do appreciate about what they do show in white America is the role that white women play in white men's lives.
Mm.
And I do want to just amplify that just a little bit because
Say
I
it.
do think it's important to be heard in the sense of my recollection of what I see. And what I see when I see white women deal with white men is they are not they're a soundboard plus they're a psychological beacon. Do you know what? When I say a psychological beacon, I
Mm-hmm.
mean like a lighthouse. Like
Yep.
if you lost out in
Yep.
sea,
That's that
you look
piece.
you look for the White House, so you know where the land is at.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
what I
white, but I am a beacon.
Oh,
well, no, I'm not. I'm not saying you are,
I'm
but
I'm trying to
I'm
wait
just
for you
saying
to get
you're
finished because I
married,
don't
you're in
want
a
to
healthy
go either.
relationship because you embody that component, you know. And we as men we do desire to have a lady in the streets, a freak in the bed, but we also desire to have an individual to understand that we are human too. And in being human too, we do have shortcomings. We do have insecurities. We do fall victim of
Mhm.
society from time to time. And we need an individual who say, you know who you are.
Right.
You are
Absolutely.
him.
Mhm.
That's
You know,
Right.
right.
I've been watching this TV
Mhm.
series. I'm gonna give it a shout out because it's a very good TV series. I can't even hold y'all up. It's called Billions, and I'm new to this
Good.
because it's
What
it's
what
it's
streaming part? What is it on?
it's on Paramount.
Okay.
You can stream it on Paramount Plus, but it's I like it. I don't like it because how they depict African Americans, but I do like it based on what they tell about the truth of America. America goes through a lot of trials and tribulations. America deal with
Mm-hmm.
gentrification. America deals with a lot of white collar crimes opposed to black collar crimes. Individuals get ostracized for selling
racism.
drugs. They don't get ostracized for financial gain for doing things that individuals who are selling drugs do. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's not balanced. But that's a whole new different conversation. What I'm just saying is, I see these individuals, these men who are powerful, who are moving in their right energy. They need to be recalibrated, and they get
Mhm.
recalibrated by their women.
You better say that.
It's a woman's
They
duty.
do.
I believe it's a woman's. I believe it's a man's job too, a duty to recalibrate their wife as well. We need to prime our women. We need to let our women know how intelligent they are, how beautiful they are, how much you appreciate them, and that need to go on both sides of the coin.
It
But
does.
if we need to learn how to grow as you. If change is inevitable. We are going to change. That's
Right.
going to happen.
Absolutely.
Let's change healthily.
That's
Exactly.
right.
Mm-hmm.
No,
And that's why we're
exactly.
having this
I agree.
conversation because it starts with
Yeah.
a great conversation
I love it.
that means a lot. And I'm glad that you brought that up, about that particular change. I don't think a lot of people even consider telling a melanated man that he's doing a good job. Truthfully. And I'm not talking about you married folks up here. I'm talking about
Okay.
people in general, okay? People need to normalize telling our melanated men when they're doing a good job. Now, don't go lying to folks. Don't go lie to Pookie and tell
Facts.
Pookie
Facts.
that he's doing a good job. And I'm
But
gonna
you
say
know
it.
he ain't.
I know you told me to reel it back in, but I gotta say it that you over here avoiding child support, selling bean pies on the corner, not taking care of your children.
Mm-hmm.
That he doing a good job because he's not. You have responsibilities. My 50-50 brother, 100% of you is needed.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Your kids need 100% of you. If you cannot make your bills meet, then you cannot afford to date. That's
How that
one
old
thing.
gospel song
People,
go?
people sit they behind. Let me tell you, these men sit up here, and I'm not talking to all of them. Some of these men sit up here and they cry about 50-50 because they can't afford to date for real. And
Period.
instead of women raising a standard and
Period.
saying, you
That's
can,
real
oh,
talk.
you want a 50-50 me and tell me I got to pay half on this date. How about you go back to school? How about you go get a trade? How about you go start a business? How about you invest in yourself? And if I'm still available by the time you done investing in yourself, then we can go out. So y'all
I love it.
settling for these people who have not sowed seed in themselves. They don't even see their own value, and you get mad when they knock you upside your head when
But do
you go
you
out and
wait
you
a second?
become something greater, and
Do
they
you
don't
know?
see your value.
Do you know that there's a study? There's a study that reflects men without a felony that are white, men with felonies that are white, men that are black without felonies that don't have a felony, and men that are black that do have felonies. Do you know that of the study that
Mhm.
the white man with a felony has a better chance of getting a job than a black man without a felony?
Of
Now,
course,
Absolutely.
we know
now
that.
I'm gonna be transparent here because at the end of the day, uh, my walk as a black man is not easy.
Mm.
I try
Talk
my
about
hardest
it.
to do whatever it is that I can do to provide and be the best man that I could possibly be. I
Mm-hmm.
do need help. That's what
Yep.
I'm saying. I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying that I don't have the ability to. Right. I mean, at the end of
Can
the
I
day,
say this real quick before you say that? Because I've been
okay.
wanting to say this to you
All right.
since the last show. I'm going to say this. When I talk about men and what they need to do, Kame is kind of like in the same arena as a single mother. And I had to hear his heart one day. We were talking about something, and I was talking about the struggle of a single mother, me being divorced, having these children, this person is not doing whatever. And when he said, well, this is how I feel. And in that moment, I felt his pain because I had to understand that he was left with his children.
Right.
And so his struggle is not, I'm not talking to him
Right.
because he
I
has,
know you're
oh,
not.
wait a
I
minute,
know
let me
you're
finish
not
telling
talking
you,
to me.
Kame.
Right.
When his wife left him, he
Well, she
stood
didn't
up.
leave me.
She passed away.
She passed
That's,
away.
I can't say it though. You know I can't say it.
Right. 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 Right.
I can't say it.
Right.
When she left,
So, girl, don't
he
you do?
stood up and he took care of his children. And he became, when I tell you, it matured him. And he became this man that I didn't recognize. And when he started talking about that, but this is who I am today. So I understand when he says what he's saying. I'm not talking about him because he had to raise, it's five, right?
Well, I
Four?
raised four. I raised four. My
Four.
oldest. My
When
oldest
she
was raised by
left.
his mom, without a
Yeah.
question. But
Four by
four. Yeah.
himself, and the baby was a baby. You
Right.
understand me? And so for him to pick up four kids
That's good. That's
and live his life and start all
because
over
most men don't
again
do that.
Mm-hmm.
and make his money and go
Hmm.
head on and teach these kids how to love themselves and teach these girls how to be ladies, teach them how to take care of themselves. All men are not created equal,
Woo.
but I want to make sure
They ain't
I
never.
give him his flowers while he's sitting here because I'm saying
Absolutely.
things and he don't fit the category, but he's trying to speak up for these men. But the truth is,
Thank you.
he is extraordinary and he had to go above and beyond losing his wife like that. It was not something that could have been predicted. You understand me?
Right.
So each man, that's why I said we have to normalize telling our black men when they're doing a good job and speaking life into them because you don't know what they're dealing with. You don't know what they got going on. And
Can I say something
and
real
I'm
quick?
proud of him.
Right.
Let me say something real quick.
Asheo.
When we were, I forgot what we were talking about earlier. Men being able to articulate how they feel. Men don't really talk about how they feel. I don't know how long you've been knowing him, but like you said, I didn't know he felt like that. If he never told you how he felt, you would have never known. So when I said men need to articulate how they feel, they need to let their woman know, look, I don't like this, or this is how I feel. They are not taught to speak about how they feel because they're supposed to be so masculine and so tough.
So
And again,
strong.
like I said last week, that's why so many of them harbor all of those feelings and those emotions and everything because they've been taught that showing any type of emotion is a sign of weakness. So in the man's mind, and I'm not a man, but I'm just speaking from experience. In a man's mind, if he shows his woman any type of emotion, what they call them now, simps. Oh, you a simp because you showing your woman some type of emotion. But if you, like I said, if he never told you how he felt, you would have never known. And a lot of women go through relationship with men, and there's a lot of things that they don't know because men don't talk about it. They have to talk about it. I don't
Well,
know you
if
doing a good job.
I appreciate that, but I tell you, if your
Yeah.
relationship is out in the social media, then you subjected to whatever social media
That's
has to
true.
say
Yeah,
about your relationship.
yeah,
That's just what it is. Now, I wasn't going to speak on the things that I experienced. I just speak on the things that I know now. And what I know now
Mm-hmm.
is a lot of men don't truly understand what it takes to raise a child because they don't raise
yes,
children.
because they don't
Now,
raise children.
now the nurturing aspect is given to the mother. It's just easier for you all to be nurturers.
It's our
Hmm.
I
nature.
It's y'all's nature. Now,
Mm-hmm.
in the process of losing my wife, I had to find the balance because I was on the extreme end. I was the disciplinarian. She was the nurturer. It's
The
just what it
teacher.
was.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Hmm.
balanced her. She was extra soft. I was extra hard.
Because y'all
And
work
and
together. That's the
we worked
balance of
together for that.
a man and woman in the house with children.
That's what God. I mean, a woman and a woman can't make no baby. Neither can a man and a man.
Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, a baby is
How
come
you
from
want
a
your eggs?
man and a
Try to
woman.
fertilize.
And
Mhm.
and, and and that's and it's for a reason, because it does take that masculine, that estrogen levels to raise a child. It's just what it
That's right.
is. Now I
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
understand that now because I had to raise children on my own for the past decade. You understand what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
But
That's amazing.
most men don't know that though. And I'm not trying to shoot down. I'm trying to give you all an understanding of why men don't, because they
Right.
haven't had to experience that. But if you
That's
can understand that man has just as much emotion, just as much understanding, just as much desire as we're not that different. The only thing that's different is our genitals. That's
in
it.
our communication skills. That's
And
what's
our
really man are
coming
from Mars, women
right.
are from Venus. We
Yeah.
half the time are saying the same thing, and I love this
Most
conversation, but I have to go because I'm outside of a show and I'm like running late, but I'm loving this
Oh, I
conversation.
was waiting
Salute,
for you to say
salute.
Okay,
you
go
had to
ahead.
go.
But
Have a good
My
show.
I
Thursday.
love you guys, all the lights,
Bye.
man. This was an
Love
amazing
you.
conversation,
yeah, love
and
you
we'll
too.
do this
Bye.
again. All right.
Talk to you later,
Can I
Carly.
chime
Bye.
in a little bit?
Yes.
I
Go
wanted
ahead.
to
Okay.
say that, man, just hearing that, see, I relate on the other end of the spectrum because I lost my mom at 13, me and my siblings.
Mhm.
And the same day we lost our mom, mind you, my mom and dad was together, a healthy couple. We lost him too. He left us. So I understand. Ugh.
Right.
I definitely understand a man stepping up and being a parent. My father didn't do that. My grandmother stepped up and took us.
Wow.
So that's amazing for you to
Mhm.
stand in the trenches and raise your children and, raise women, train up women,
Right.
queens.
Hey,
That's
Queen.
amazing.
Thank
So
you.
when I talk about father daddy issues, and I say I seen my daddy show me how to treat a woman and how not to. That's real life for me.
Right.
Real life. So
Mhm.
man, that's deep. That's
And
deep that
and,
you
and,
did
and
that.
I appreciate that. That's what we need to get. We as African Americans, Native Americans, we constantly are learning what not to do.
Mhm.
We constantly are learning from individuals perpetuating a negative ideology that we have to reject. We have to be like, I don't want to do that. We
Mhm.
need more role models and more models that's doing the right thing. We can say, see, we can we glamorize individuals coming home from prison and we give them a celebration and party and theme. We don't
Yeah.
celebrate as much as we need to when an individual graduate.
Right.
We go to school and we wear our pants up and we're studious and we listen to what the kids to and we call it lame and we call everything but an individual that's disrespecting everybody and not allowing individuals to learn and individuals that's acting the fool. They funny. They
Yeah.
get all the accolades. Our culture needs to understand that you're right. We don't have a nationality because we're not accepted as Americans. We're not accepted as Africans because we're not from Africa. We're not
Right.
accepted. We gotta establish our own nationality and we gotta reject the notions that are not perpetuating positivity. Individuals that's talking about females in a negative light, we need not listen to them. That's what we
Right.
we need as people. We need to start
Mhm.
rejecting individuals that's not upholding our nationality. We don't
That's
we don't
true.
really have one
How do
until
we
we
do that? How
until
does
we
that
do.
start?
That's that.
Yeah.
I'm starting to realize.
Yes.
Go ahead, son. The son. He might have
Yeah.
the answer.
Yeah. You were saying, how do we do that? We have to. Somebody must start so that we can get a followers. Because anything that I tell you want to do on this earth, when you start doing it, you see that somebody will start appreciating it. Before you realize, the third person started following. So what Kamil said, I really sympathize with this. How are we going to do it? We have to see. You can start it, and you get support from it. As you said that Americans they are rejecting you that you are not from America. Africans are also not saying that you are not from Africa. So that means that you are stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
Um, I have a certain song entitled Black Empowerment. I think Black Empowerment and I Can't Breathe. I think those songs are on all social media platforms. When you Google it, you see it and you listen to it. The Black Empowerment talks about how we have to unite as an African. Like we the blacks must unite. Whether you are in America, whether you are in Asia, whether as soon as you believe that you are black, we have to unite us. How are we going to unite? We have
Let
to
me ask
start
you a
supporting
question, the
each other.
son.
How are we going
The
to
son.
support?
What's your
Yeah,
nationality?
I'm a Ghanaian.
He's
I'm from
from
Ghana,
Ghana.
West Africa, so I'm a
Ghana.
Ghanaian.
Okay.
Yes.
Um, what I've noticed here in America, because I do we back when I was in Cleveland, they had Little Italy. We knew that existed, but here in Indianapolis, where I'm at now, there's no Little Italy. There is no African culture, but people do segregate themselves, and I'm seeing that there's an African culture here. There's Haitians here. There's Nigerians here. There's Ghanaians. How do you pronounce it? You said you're from Ghana. Is that a Ghanaian? What is that? What is that? A Ghanaian?
I think he frozen.
Okay,
I think
but
so.
what I'm saying is I don't see these Somalians. I don't see these African cultures mixing. They don't mix. They're tribal. Like we're supposed to be tribal. I personally don't think that all black people is going to unite because all black people don't think the same, and we are
Mm,
too powerful to unite. But we are tribal by nature because at the end of the day, we have to find the individuals that adhere to what we believe and what we hold as our truth,
mhm,
and we need to build with them.
mhm,
That's what I believe now
I
more
believe
so
so.
than ever.
But I think what the best thing is to start with the conversation. Us having conversations like this, putting this on the World Wide Web with people that are having real conversations.
mhm,
Whether people like it or not, these are real conversations that we're having. Take the parts that you like, but
mhm,
there's a lot of nuggets that are being delivered here. And that's why I love what I do because it gives another standpoint. People need to hear it. I'm not going to say that I'm an expert, but I have a heart. And my creator uses me, and I allow my creator to use me to the fullest
mhm,
capacity. So if
mhm.
it means to stir the pot a little bit, maybe piss some people off that want to change their lives or say something, let them. I don't care.
Yeah, that's
But
what they need
change
to
is
hear.
going to happen. It's going to happen because God said so. It's time for change to happen. People need to learn how to treat each other. Our men
Mhm.
need to be celebrated. We do too. I mean, because they really trying to do it when it comes to the women. Let's be honest. They trying to do something.
That's facts.
Yeah.
They trying to just
Yes, as I was saying before,
yes,
the
come on,
next
you
subject.
back.
Yes, I'm back. Thanks for the interrupt. Sorry for the interruption. Thanks for having me back. As I was saying, we the blacks must support each other. Like there's some talks about we uniting and also supporting black black business because when our friend who is black has established a business that we have to support to
Yes.
put out there, we have to support it. With this, we are also creating a platform for the blacks to also exhibit and sell their products to the world. Because when we start supporting each other's black business and we stop the hating, I think we can supersede and
Mhm,
exceed the
mhm,
level of people's imagination. But when we start hating our friend who has established a business whilst he needs the support that we have to give, and we don't give it, and rather giving it to them. Nobody should get me wrong that I'm speaking against the white. I'm not speaking against the white. Now it's time for us, we the blacks, to support each other and stop being manipulated by these white people giving us guns to kill each other. There is a problem. There is one thing that bothers me a lot. Whenever I watch the telly or whenever I listen to a foreign news which is from your side, I see somebody shooting the wife or the husband, and mostly it's the blacks. Why this? Why can't we unite? Why can't we love our wives and our husbands? Because talking about the world's growth and population, the blacks are the majority living in the whole world wide. Talking about the whites, they are few. Blacks have
mhm.
dominated every place. So when we start supporting each other as a blacks, I think we can move forward and move far.
Right.
By hating each other, pulling each other's legs down will never send us anywhere. And however, I've realized something in this world because majority of men in this system in which we are not taking their responsibilities and duties as men, as a responsible
Mhm.
fathers. That has changed everything because if you look at things, women are now leading in every aspect of life now. Women are leading in every aspect of life now. When you see it, you have seen that women are at high positions that men, at first, it was men who were occupying those positions. It's not
Mhm.
because of anything. It's because that men have left their responsibilities and duties that they're supposed to render in the family
Right.
to support their children. They've left it,
Mhm.
and the women have taken it upon themselves doing this. So the support in which will come from the man, God has taken it from you spiritually and blessed the woman to look after the children. That's why women are succeeding in the world now than the men. So if we the men will think twice and go and carry our responsibilities or take on our responsibilities and duties, I think we can stand on our feet now. So I sympathize with you,
Bingo.
my brother.
Mhm.
My brother, I
Mhm.
sympathize with you. So this is what you have to do as black so that we can move forward.
No, you were
Bingo.
absolutely right. I
Mhm.
saw a little clip, man. A man was talking to his son. And he was asking him, "What's the difference between a boy, a young man, and a man?" And he had the phenomenal answer, and it's true. But a boy doesn't have responsibilities. A boy um, doesn't at all. A young man is learning responsibilities while a man takes care of his responsibilities.
Right.
And while you're dating, if you're
Mhm.
looking for a man, you have to use that element. If an individual is learning responsibilities, he's a young man. Do you want to be engaged with a young man? That's your decision. If an
Mhm.
individual has responsibilities, he's not taking care of it, he's a boy. If you want to be in a relationship with a boy, that's your decision. But
Right.
ultimately, you have to understand that there is a
That's
difference between
good.
a boy, a young man, and a man. And when you are dealing with a man, trust and believe he is going to love you wholeheartedly. He's going to give you the things that you need, and vice versa. He's going to require you to be a woman and give him the things
Mhm.
that he needs. And he's going to hold himself responsible to the things that he needs to be responsible for, and he's going to move in that light.
Mhm.
And understanding that, we have a better understanding of what we're looking for when we're dating. Understand that we need to be selfless as one, and then as two, we need to understand that if we are going to be deemed a woman or a man, we're going to take responsibility to be the best we could possibly be for the person that we are going to be interacting with. Period. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? That's just what I want to say and leave with.
That's what I'm
Mhm.
talking about.
Okay.
Listen, we gonna wrap it up on that note right there. Listen, y'all heard it here live on another segment of Let Me Be Real with You Relationship Edition. This is our first ladies and gents together. We will be doing this again with a whole new panel with 4 new ladies and 4 new gents real soon. I'm not sure if it's next week. I think I got something to do. Um,
I had a
so you
ball.
guys,
I, I had a
watch.
ball talking to you guys. You all
I
had
did
some
too.
very intellectual additions to add to just life and marriage and relationships, and that was awesome because it's good to have these conversations. Because without them, you know what I'm saying, we struggling. Like we're
Mhm.
learning that it's these conversations that we need to have with individuals that we want to get into relationships with, and not have the fear of doing it. And by
Right.
individuals seeing that we can have these conversations, it eliminates that notion that I don't have to be afraid to have these conversations, which is a beautiful thing. I'm glad you're
Mhm.
doing it, Carly.
Right.
I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mhm.
I appreciate it. Thank you all for joining us on this show. Muslima, Rita, the Sun, Kame, thank you for all the wisdom and knowledge that each and every one of you dropped. Thank you for letting people see that Black people can sit back and have conversations without name calling or tearing each other down, but
Mhm.
we can build each
Facts.
Mhm.
other up as
Facts.
we've been doing, as we're going to continue to do, to share love. And God, just continue to allow my panel to be a space of growth and love,
Yes.
and continue to grow it and continue to allow people to see this and that they can learn something from each and everything that graces the broadcast from this point on and everything that we've done before then. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Thank you all for
Amen.
being a part
Mhm.
of
Thanks
my
for having us.
show. I appreciate every part of everything that you've done. And I really mean it, Kame. I'm grateful for you and the work you've put in. And I am proud of you. That is my little brother. So you guys said, I don't know how you know him. That's my baby. He
I'm,
ain't the baby.
I'm thankful for you.
But so I'm grateful for you and all the things that you guys that you've been doing and everything. And I am so proud of you. I'm
Thank you.
so proud of you. Keep doing your thing. And it's just so much
I
more
don't
to
know you, and
come.
I'm proud of you too.
Ah,
For
It
real.
ain't a lot of men step up and take care
appreciate
of
it.
both
It
of you.
don't. For real.
What's up?
Yeah, thank you.
I
Mhm.
said it before, but I wanted to make sure I said it that time again. You guys, thank you again. I am Carly Davenport, and this is my show. I go by Fell in Love with Carly. I will see you back here again. Pay attention. If you're not following me, follow my pages. I'm Fell in Love with Carly everywhere besides Facebook. They got me as Carly Davenport. That's okay, because she is me. So you got to pay attention to those flyers I'm going to drop as they drop, and you can get the notification directly. I love you guys. Now go ahead and
I
love
can't do it. I
yourselves.
gotta.
Yeah, I
Bye.
love you
Yeah.
Bye.
too.